Like the actual intro video that we could put is bad. So instead, we just awkwardly start and say we're back talking horse racing. I'm Nick, and that's Emily. Ooh, we're down
Yeah.
now. Weird.
Yeah,
Instead of left to right.
normally if well, for race 2, I'll do my thing, right? It's like
Yeah.
we're back talking horse racing, greatest game from the greatest place, Hawthorne Racecourse.
Almost from Hawthorne. We got a shout out from Jim today, so that was fun. And of course, I was too slow to start recording, so we'll make him do it again later, I think.
Yeah, maybe he'll do it again later. Hopefully. Yeah, so what happened so when I'm there on track, I go down to the paddock and like do the thing from the paddock for the even races each day. But we had like some technical stuff going on, and they're like, okay, well, you're gonna have to come upstairs versus go to the paddock. And I'm like, okay, that's cool, that's fine. But it yes, Jockey Watcher, it is on YouTube. Check out one time. But part of like being at the track is like I get to interact with everybody and like hang out and like go to the paddock and like look at the horses. So if I'm not doing that, it's not like not being there, but like being like trapped because it is a venture to get from like upstairs to down. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
it's there's not just like, oh, just run down the stairs real quick and like say hi to somebody. It's like, okay, go down that set of stairs, climb through here, wait for an elevator, hope like a
Yep.
service elevator, like hopefully it opens up and you don't get trapped in there, things like that. It's like very,
Yeah.
it's rough around the edges. So, uh, so I'm like, let me fire up Nick and see if I can. Let me talk to the bosses and make sure they don't, call the YouTube police to shut us down and let me see if Nick's available. And like, yeah, we'll do this. So yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to post the link to Jockey Watch and how to get to YouTube, but I can't figure that out. So, oh well.
Well, it should be if you go on either of our X profiles, like you can get to the link, the
Yeah.
YouTube link from there, so you don't have to watch. You don't have to watch on X because, like,
Yeah.
yeah, we all hate it. Anyways,
Yeah.
should we do some handicapping?
Yes, do it. So I'm gonna pull up. We have 6 minutes, so I'm gonna pull up the optics from Hawthorne because that's all free and on their website, which I'll also post here in a second. But
Yeah.
do you wanna go over race 1? 4
Yeah,
horses, so
and
not
there's one scratch who was the one, and I thought was, a couple things that are weird. It's always tough when you have these compact fields because so much of it comes down to a rider's race. And like in this case, you'd expect Wildwood Sicilian, based on the plot, to be able to just kind of clear from the outside, who's currently even money, and look to take this field gate to wire. And obviously that's a possibility. Now it becomes a little bit trickier because 3, you can see highlighted in red that DLR is days since last race. They haven't raced in 242 days. So you also have to project, okay, is this horse going to be fit enough off the layoff? And, perhaps in the pace advantage could compensate, but going through, I know we don't have the grid pulled up, so you'll just have to hear me out on this one. But historically, when Wildwood Sicilian has come off the layoff, they've given the horse a race, and then next out they win. That was the pattern last year when they came off the layoff at Prairie Meadows, the year before when they came off the layoff at FanDuel, and then won or improved speed figure wise in their next start. So it's a little bit different here, obviously, in terms of race par is a little bit softer, competition. There's only 3 other horses. They have a pace advantage, so certainly capable. But that was, when I was pre-handicapping, that was something that I had considered. Now, in terms of kind of the other pace in the race, maybe it's coming from the 2. Who, I mean, if you go back in number 2, Richie's on a roll, going back in their races, they would be clear cut the horse to beat. Highest speed figures by far, major class edge. You can see that green kind of light up. I know it's kind of a small print, but like the colors definitely like jump out. Those being like the highest speed figures in this field. Now it's another horse coming off a big layoff, right? You're expecting them to come back and be the same horse that they were 583 days ago. But again, I think in this type of scenario, this horse has tactical speed, and it's a little bit varied based on the plot and like the recent races and the layoff lines and level of competition. But going back in the races, they've won on the lead and won on the lead kind of somewhat fresh. So I would think in this type of field, this is where I said it comes down to a rider's race sometimes. Like, what are they going to do, right?
Yeah.
If they send and they duel with the 5, then that's going to change the complexion. If the 2 doesn't get out of the gate and the 5 goes lone, that could be the race right there. If the 5 isn't race ready and the 2 comes back to their top form, they're best of the speed, right? It's like
Yep.
there's so many ways that you can kind of look at this. Now the stablemate of the 2 Rich's on roll is number 4 Cortez, who's also coming in off a layoff. And the other thing you should mention with this layoff is the distance of this race being 6.5 furlongs. So it is that extended sprint distance. So you're going to have to be fit. But in terms of Cortez, they've actually run in some of these longer sprint races and been very competitive in those type of events. So at least that could show some intent in terms of that. And I thought maybe even the 3, who's maybe a little bit lighter. Now the barn also had the 1 who scratched, so you could play some intent on that front as well. Maybe they try to show some early speed as well. So
Yeah.
I was kind of Where did you kind of?
I kind of landed on the 5. I think the layoff is the biggest question mark, obviously. But the only one coming in that didn't have a layoff was the 3, and I don't know, maybe the 3 is good enough, but I'll take the horses off the layoff over the horse that's just kind of been like fine.
Yeah.
Right. But also he's been like running well in these type of races, so maybe that is enough of an edge, but maybe the extra half furlong isn't gonna do him any favors either, the twirling rose. So I don't know. I was more leaning on the 5, just thinking he gets to the lead and just goes. If the 3 kind of gets that, it feels like a decent enough setup that he can sit off of the pace and kind of go and like make the first run. Kind of sort of can do it. And the last 2 races, May 3rd and April 23rd, were more speed favoring, at least according to time form, which when they color code things red, I tend to think there's a little bit there. So he was sitting 3rd on that April 23rd race, and then couldn't catch the leader, who I believe went gate to wire. And the same thing on that May 3rd race, where like he just kind of like was sitting off and kind of went in a merry-go-round. So if the track kind of plays more where he can make a run, all the other horses coming off of a long layoff can't quite get the distance on their first out. Like the 3 is a halfway decent play, but I also thought 7-2 was kind of the time to get him and not 2-1, which he's currently sitting at. So I would imagine he floats up a little bit from that, considering, we don't have a whole lot of data on what's going to happen with this betting, but I think he floats up because I think the 2 is currently at 5-1. And I don't know, is the 2 going to actually go off that high?
That's what also kind of worries me a little bit about the 2 in this case, is being so cold on the board.
Yeah.
For a horse who's, like I said, in the past would be the clear-cut horse to beat. So in that case, I'm going to bet the 4. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Because we're here.
It
this is what it would have cost me. I'm going to bet what it would have cost me in gas to drive to the track today. So we'll see. We'll see if I'm kind of at even at that point, or I've already paid for the day.
I guess the question is, how far do you live from the track?
Guys, don't worry about that. I don't need to be here doxing myself, but yeah.
My bad. So looking,
having some fun right off the bat.
Looking at them like here, where you don't get to see them in person, does that make it way harder for you?
I feel like I'm probably more used to looking at horses on the screen, because that's what I have to do for notes anyways, is like look at tracks from all over. So I'm used to it. But being down in the paddock, I'll usually get there before the horses walk in. I'll try to just be there. Like, I guess it just depends on like how much time they put on between races. But generally I'm there like before all the horses get into the paddock, so I get to really see them, like spend a lot of time just kind of like looking at them, and like, are they, dragging their feet across? Like, do they have sometimes there's like weird pieces of equipment, like something around their ankles, just like
Yep.
weird things that like it is really, really, really hard to see on the screen. Um, yeah, like talk to
Yeah.
some people that are down there, things like that obviously I can't do here, right?
Yeah. And that's sort of like, I don't know if it makes that big of a difference. And that's why I was kind of like, being in person feels like it's always better, but also you can't see them in person here, right? Like when they're down at this side of the track anyways, like you're still watching them on a screen because you can't see them across
Yeah.
the track anyways. So you are kind of sort of at a disadvantage, but I don't know if it's that big of a difference. And as we talk, the 3 becomes the favorite, not floating up. So maybe
That's kind of crazy. I mean,
yeah.
I guess in terms of like the 3 is that this is the one horse who has recency.
Yeah.
And that could be the big edge. I mean, the barn also entered the 1 and scratched.
Mhm.
So, Armando Hernandez is one of the best trainers, not just at Hawthorne, but I mean, he killed it at Oaklawn. Now he's, sending a string. Like, he's good. He knows what he's doing and placing his horses. And then the 5 just took over favoritism. Yeah, this board is jumpy. I'm on the longest shot on the board, so that from that standpoint alone, I think it's a good bet.
Yeah.
Regardless of what happens at this point. 3 kind of stumbled out of there a little bit. Are we listening to the call or no?
I was gonna
Inside,
yeah.
Richie's on a roll. Splitting horses, twirling roses. Cortese close up 4th. They're 4 across the track, midway on the backstretch. It's Wildwood Sicilian, the leader. Between horses, that's twirling roses 2nd. Then on the far outside, Cortese now 3rd. Richie's on a roll 4th. They're covered by 2.5 lengths with a half mile to run. On the inside, Wildwood Sicilian alongside Twirling Roses. These 2 now on even terms. Cortese tracking from 3rd. Richie's on a roll 4th. And around the turn they go. They're still going at it. Wildwood Sicilian and Twirling Roses still locked in a head-to-head duel. Here's Cortese picking up the leaders 3 wide. Richie's on a roll, needs to come from last to win it. Around the turn, they're in the stretch. Cortese on the far outside up to take the lead. Then towards the inside, Wildwood Sicilian battling on. Twirling Roses between horses now 3rd. Far back to Richie's on a roll 4th. A little more than a 16th to go. Cortese has the lead. Wildwood Sicilian battling gamely along the inside.
Don't battle gamely.
Yeah, no gamely. He's not gamely. He's not gamely.
Perfect.
Then it was Twirling Roses and Richie.
Hopefully you live super far from the track and you crushed it.
Yeah. I actually live in Milwaukee, so yeah, where
Gotcha.
That's why the odds dropped all the way down, and then they drifted back up. All right, it's a good start. Let's call it. Should we make it a wrap?
Yeah, that's it. We've done our job. 4-1 winner. Now you can go bet Saratoga where it's 7 of 5s all day long. That's actually not even close to true. Churchill's probably going to be that. So, yeah, I mean, that was kind of exactly how you drew it up, right? I mean,
yeah, I mean, it was once the 2 was kind of like cold on the board, it was like, okay, that's enough to kind of say they're going to need a race. And obviously the long layoff probably told you some of that as well. And then, looking at the 3 being a little bit weaker on class, despite having the recency, and talking about the 5 saying, well, they could have a pace advantage in here, does come down to a rider's race. And historically, the horse does need a race off the layoff. So if they're the favorite, it's just basically process of elimination, right? Like the 3 is way too short to play, regardless of the recency edge and the scratch. The 2 is cold on the board, and the 5 being the favorite is no value when the horse might need a race off the layoff. And so at that point, if I only have one horse to beat and I'm getting now 4.5 times the price, it's just a good bet.
Yeah.
And when it works out, then it's an excellent bet. But yeah, that's the idea.
Yeah. I mean, now that I went back and looked at the class because I kind of missed that it was a starter. Like all these horses coming back protected, I guess I don't know, makes as much sense as going in for a claim. But horses like the 5 that been off since basically since Hawthorne's been off and just coming back protected and was a stakes horse last year though. Didn't win a stakes, but like had been running and claiming races last year and like bring it back protected as a 7-year-old just feels like I guess he was in for the tag, wasn't he? Never mind.
Yeah, but still, but still being a 7-year-old Illinois bred running for that higher tag as the Illinois bred, because we give that allowance, like you're kind of protected, right? Like you just kind of know, like no one's really coming in to claim.
Yeah, a claim
and
of
if they
25,
are, then they're gonna claim, and they're probably gonna have to run back, in a tag or something like that.
Yeah.
So.
And if you get 25,000 for the horse, kind of not the worst thing either, right? Like
exactly. Yeah. It's it's a homebred and things like that. There's a lot that goes into those type of decisions. So but great start, 1080 on the win end. So I have gas money for Sunday and then some and taco money.
Wow, what a day for you.
Right? Early days though, we got 6 more. Hopefully I still have gas money for Sunday and taco money. But we shall see.
So do we want to go over, I was going to check real quick at where Saratoga's at. They got 18 minutes to that race. Do you care at all about that Saratoga race? Or you want to do race 2 first, and then we'll worry about Saratoga next?
Yeah, let's do race 2 at Hawthorne, and then we'll switch over, and then we'll come back and like just kind of assess from there, because the board will maybe change a little bit. We'll see. 1, 5, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Yeah, so race 2 will go to the turf course, 5 furlongs in this 40,000 allowance optional claiming. Only one horse. Well, we'll start with the one who's currently favored in even money. Do you remember this horse out in California?
No.
No?
I don't.
They were running longer out in California, but actually won sprinting. And all the races were kind of good, but it's been pretty effective sprinting, especially at Hawthorne. Even the most recent race at Churchill Downs, I noted that was a prep. You can see in the note there, which is fine off the layoff. Now, the one thing, and so I do think that this horse is like, as an individual, like definitely the horse to beat, but this is 5 furlongs, which is a different game than 5.5. And it's not a horse that has gate speed. I'm hearing an echo of myself.
Yep, sorry. Yep, it's me. Sorry.
Okay, I was like, what am I doing wrong?
Yep. No, I hit the wrong button.
Okay. Doesn't have gate speed. I think it's good that they're drawn inside, so at least they can save ground, but still going to have to get a trip, Yeah. And I fully recognize that like every other factor should be the horse to beat. And sometimes the best horse is just the best horse, and they'll figure out a way, but then you go and decide, like, is that the horse I want to bet at even money, or am I going to try to, play against him or play an exacta or something, something like that. So anyways, that was kind of the assessment on the one. Anything you want to add on that?
I don't know. He just looked so good. And I know that last race wasn't great, but like you said, it was very much seemed like a prep and had been running so much faster than all these other ones that I didn't think the cutback was going to be a bad thing. The only real question, I guess, would be is if one of these, it felt like the 3, but maybe the 5, because the 5, like, again, has the recency. So I kind of feel like I'm going to lean more towards the 5's recency. But if the 5 just goes and doesn't stop, that felt possible. But it didn't seem like he's fast enough. Like just looking at the figures alone, just like he's way slower. Like even the ones like off races as fast as what the 5 kind of runs on a regular basis. So it felt like the 1 was just the one to have here in my world.
Yeah, and in terms of the early pace, it is like I think the 2 is probably the controlling speed. As I know the 5 kind of looks that way on the plot. But what was it about the 2? Oh no, the 2 I wasn't sure of either, because 6 furlong I think they're probably going to try to go for the lead, even though that's 6 furlong dirt speed, which
Yeah.
isn't quite 5 furlong turf speed. But
Right.
maybe in this race it is. We're going to find out. But
Kind of what you
the
have
fact,
to do. Yeah.
yeah, because the one doesn't have early speed, right? So now
Yeah.
you have the 2 on the inside. You have a very aggressive rider, E.T. Baird, who's going to send and like, at least try to be on going forward. Now, as far
Yep.
as the 3 Journey, not only are they coming off the layoff, coming back to a sprint, I don't really see Journey as like 5 furlong sprint speed either.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, maybe
Yep.
if they go kind of slow, but even still, I don't think they're necessarily like on or near the lead. Even going back to the sprint races, now granted, that was as a juvenile, so taking that with like a grain of salt. But there was
Yeah.
one race, I guess the one sprint last year, they were able to get loan.
Yeah, that September 25th race, it kind of feels like maybe that's what they do, but
But that was like
Yeah.
that's a state bred race. Okay,
Right.
that's totally different, completely different.
Yeah.
Yeah, able to get a loan lead in state bred company. I was like, who are those? Who's the competition? Okay, that's why they're able to get the lead. Yeah. But yeah, the 5. I mean, the 5 and the 2, same barn. The 5 and the 4 come out of that same common race at Horseshoe Indianapolis on May 14th. And the 5 finished in front of the 4, but I thought I gave them both B minuses. I thought they both ran the same race, kind of all things considered. And the 4 even has more upside because they were coming off the layoff that day, a long layoff that day,
Mm-hmm.
has run well at Hawthorne. A lot of those races are longer, but that could have also just been like circumstantial of like what races were available. But just in the fact that this horse has run well at Hawthorne and they thought enough to ship here, at least just shows intent. Still gonna have to figure out like the 1, still gonna have to figure out a way to win, but
Right.
he's 26-1.
Yeah.
And he ran just as well as the 5, who's 2-1 in their most recent start, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's seeing the 4 being off that layoff, this being second off the layoff does give me a little bit more like, oh, maybe. But then, like you were saying, like, I don't know, like they couldn't find any other 5 furlong turf
Well,
races. Like,
I mean, going back to last season, right? They came off the layoff at 7.5 furlongs at Hawthorne. And then the next start ran 5 furlongs at Horseshoe Indianapolis.
mm-hmm.
And that speed figure would be good enough to compete with this group. Even though they finished 4th, at least he can show that they can transfer their number. And even the races in 2024, like Kentucky down 6.5. I know that's different monster, but like that speed figure's off the chart. And then ran in a grade 2 at Woodbine and held their own. Not quite on that level, but yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. I don't like him going shorter. It feels like the longer is probably better for him, but also hasn't won in quite some time. Like the last win was August of 23, and that was a 5 furlong turf race at Indiana. So maybe
he's due.
Yeah, he's overdue perhaps. But like again, they're not like
26-1.
Yeah,
26-1. This would be the time, right?
Yeah. I don't think he's going to go 26-1, at least not based on what the doubles look like, but going to definitely be looks like the longest price by a good amount. So, yeah. It's not like I have some great case for the 5 who, even if I did, it's 2-1, so it's not nearly as much fun. But like he's fine also. Like nothing here where you're like, oh man, look at this race. Like he just seems like a board hitter. Like if you're playing the exacta or the trifecta, kind of have to use the 5, it feels like, because he never misses the board, which is just sort of different than the 4 who seems to never hit the board. But that's a difference
unless he wins.
20,
unless he wins, which I don't know.
Yeah, and I don't know. I don't.
And then it also comes back to like, is the 1 just going to win this race?
Yeah, it certainly feels like it.
Yeah.
I mean, just look at
mess around with the 1 and the 4.
That
just
seems like
like the 2 closers. Why not? Why?
Yeah.
I don't know how they're gonna run 1-2, but what's that? What is that paying right now? $12.
But doesn't that feel like what they would do is I don't know that they're going to possibly go fast enough for
Yeah,
it to
it's like
completely
12,
collapse?
12 to 1 and 17 to 1. It's not great right now.
Okay.
Like, it's not. I mean, but just like, right?
Yeah.
Well, 1-4 being 12 and 4-1 being 17. Like, I can
that-
make a win bet on the floor.
Yeah.
I could do a 1-4 exacta, and then a 4 win is a better bet than a 4-1 exacta currently.
Well, when you put your exacta bet in, you're gonna move the pool even worse because it's not big enough
Okay,
yet to have a
it's
real,
gonna drift. It's gonna
yeah,
drift. Okay.
yeah. I mean, there's a couple $100 in there currently, so you'll smash it with your gas money.
Yeah. Okay. We got Paul in the chat saying Saratoga coming up. You got a BTL. Get on it. So do you want to look at Saratoga real quick?
Okay. Yep. We are Saratoga 7th.
11 furlongs. Oh my god.
Gonna be here all afternoon.
Oh, yeah. Good thing you brought snacks and drinks for this 11 furlong race. I didn't realize we were dealing with such a thing.
I didn't.
But yeah, there is a BTL for sure.
Which one?
The 3.
Oh, the 3. There it is. With a stretch on top of it.
Wow.
That's just a blind play, isn't it? Sitting at 10 to 1 currently.
All right, we got.
I'm just gonna bet it.
What is this condition that have not won other than or never won 2 or claiming price?
Yeah.
So this horse fits because he's
not the
fits that condition. The 1 is a non N1.
So we made the rule that Emily wasn't going to look at Saratoga until we got on live. So she's going to.
Oh yeah, for people wondering. So, yeah,
Yes.
no, don't apologize. That was the correct thing because I'm
yes, but I forgot to tell
100%.
people, and then you started looking at things like you were handicapping the race, and the reason you're doing that is because you haven't even looked at this race. I didn't look at this race either. I looked at it. I spent 20 minutes trying to figure it out, and I said, I don't know. And then I said, well, I'll probably land on the 3 because it had the BTL and the stretch, and that made as much sense as literally anyone else in this race. I don't know how much I trust plots or pace projectors or any of those things in 11 furlong race where you have the par being way up here and all the other ones way down here, and 3 of the 8 horses have never ran a marathon. So we're really just like throwing our hands up and saying, I don't know, one of them's going to eventually get there, and how many of them are going to just stop running midway through because they're tired and just like, I've had enough of this.
Well, let's look at the favorite is the 8, right? Currently, or if they're not now, they will be based on what I'm looking at.
And they are, yeah.
Yeah. I guess this horse a legitimate favorite.
It's Irad and Fletcher, so
Claudie
yes.
last out. It looks like the 9 is going to also show speed. I mean, to me, I think that horse can just first glance can be beat. I don't think they're that strong as like the main horse to beat in here, right? Because it does seem like they need the lead for their best. They're kind of a little bit. They tried to rate last out, and it's not the most kind of like willing to pass horses. And it does seem like the 9 is going to show speed again. Now that note says shorter, and maybe they needed the race, but there was kind of no excuse based on the race shape, right? Slow early, very slow late.
And they have the lead.
Yeah. And are there some others in here that want to be on or near the lead? Not really. I guess the 1 probably. I mean, the 1 could get a good trip under Pratt, right? Because the pace doesn't look like it's going to be. The 1 should get like the most ideal trip. The 1 is supposed to win with this trip, actually, because the 8 and the 9. The 8 and the 9 go forward. The 1 is on the inside, just saves ground right behind them, and then gets first run. I guess the problem with the 1 is like they're going to get the best trip, but it's still the slowest horse in the race. I mean, getting maybe a little bit faster, but not really.
Right. Yeah. I don't like this.
But they're supposed to get I mean, trip wise, there'll be no excuse on that front. like where the problem with what's the price on the 3 right now? 9 to
7.
1.
Yeah.
It's not an overly exciting number. Even with the note, I mean, just because overall class is so much weaker, right?
Yeah.
I mean, one a maiden 30, and then those races at fairgrounds afterwards are fine, but the purse of those races is 28,000, 35,000. The purse of today's race is 120,000.
Yeah.
Like,
Not quite the same thing.
it's not quite the same thing. And that's probably part of the reason we'll see this like at Hawthorne too, when like horses will show up on a different circuit but in allowance company and they run well. It's because they're not winners the one allowance company on the A circuit, but they can non-winners the one allowance on a different circuit and win, or stakes race or whatever. But then the trade-off is same condition, April 19th at Laurel, $60,000 purse, and I'm rounding up.
Yeah.
Today is 120, right? So this
doubling
is
it again.
It's a big difference.
Yeah. Those the race ratings are similar. I mean, they don't have one today because of what it is, but
right.
And fairgrounds just is kind of a lighter paying circuit than Laurel on. I guess that was not Laurel on Preakness Day or anything though. That was just regular day Laurel. So never mind. I was hoping to say like, oh yeah, it was like they ran on a big day or something, and maybe that was the 19th. Maybe that was like a Preakness preview, but still an allowance race. And now
and I went back and it was like the race par is pretty high for the February 7th race at the fairgrounds. That starter 30. So I'm just trying to get a look at like what was in that race, like quality wise. Well, the ride off Jerry horse, who ended up finishing second that day, won a non-winners one allowance at 11 furlongs at Churchill.
Yeah.
So similar conditions to today's race.
And came back and won
on May 24th.
Yeah, and I think he won before that also. I think he has another win at Churchill earlier in maybe, I think it was after Derby, but maybe it was the Derby week. So
right off Jerry. Yeah, no, he won a 50,000 open claiming at Churchill 2 weeks earlier.
Okay.
Correct. Yeah.
So I mean, a pretty good horse.
Yeah.
Probably not here though, but I don't know. You got all the right conditions for the 3 Edgerton for the BTL and the stretch and all the trouble and all the things that like you said, it's kind of sort of works except for 7 to 1, which looks to be what you're gonna end up getting. It's like it's just not.
That's like, a trade-off.
Yeah,
that's the thing. Is like if it is even close to like 12 to 1 or 15 to 1, you're just like let it fly. Like we'll find out. We'll find out if this horse is good enough. But you're like 7 to 1. Does that mean it's going to be 6 to 1? I guess based on
Naira has been really good. And
what do you think it'll be, about 9?
I think it'll be like 8 or so. I think he's coming down. Just my dog's about to bark or not. Sorry. But yeah, it looks like he's going to be lower based on the double pool, which is kind of what I look at the most at Naira. But yeah, just sort of like 5th choice, but like those top 3 are all kind of the same thing. Like they're all pretty comparable. So the 9 and the 3 will be close, and the 9 being 7 to 1 makes me think we're going to be like, I think what you said, 8-9 probably is where we end up on him. So I'm going to just show the YouTube version of this because we've kind of decided that we're allowed to, though, we're both lawyers, so definitely take our legal advice. But
it's on YouTube. We're providing commentary over the top, so
all of it.
We should be able to.
We will have some delay versus what you'd see on your ADW, but now you get to watch it with us. So what more do you need?
Exactly.
So I only say it because it's saying 0 minutes of post on Twin Spires and here or there. walking around. But it also says post time, so we're probably not too far off.
Is there anything else that we're like anybody else that we're missing in this race? I mean, I guess the 7 is getting a lot of attention.
Yeah, like this whole bottom group all feels kind of the same and all fine. Like 7, 8, 9, 10 all feel like, I don't know. Is there? I don't know. You have a whole big difference between any of them. I don't know. I don't know that I want any of them going 11 for long. So it'd be the reason to kind of take that shot against. I like the 7 just had so many off races, right? Where he's like off for 300 days, off for 500 days. Like now back in 3 weeks or 4 weeks, like is this the time that they actually put it all together and getting bet kind of like it will? But I don't know.
Yeah, I mean that could just be like default, like a default choice. I mean, I guess the maiden win is the race that that's the only race you could play on this horse.
Yeah.
Is the maiden win at Saratoga. Now that was their best race, but that was also off a layoff. And I mean, I guess
I'll say that Aragono landed on the 2, who we didn't look at, but he's kind of making the same case that we are with the 3, but he's actually getting the price that you'd want on the 3. I mean,
I like the 3. I think the 3's better than the 2, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Because I mean, the races that the 2 won at Tampa back in November and December, they like had pace to close into.
So they are on the turf, and the feed is a little bit faster. But so
let's take a flyer with the 3.
The 3
and knowing it's not the greatest bet.
Yeah, but it's sticking at 11-1 at the moment. So I'm gonna bet it for a small win bet because it made as much sense. Now, if it falls down to 6-1, then I'll feel like an idiot. But I mean, they've shut these CAWs out, kind of stuck with these prices a lot of the times. They don't seem to drop as crazy as they used to. So I'm gonna say we're gonna get 10-1. That'll be my official guess. And they're loading on Twin Spire, so we're slightly behind, but close enough. Yeah, you don't do the notes on at Naira, right? And that's John.
John or Donald. I think Donald does on there. And then we got 3 minutes.
Okay.
Well, we've got 5 minutes because Hawthorne drags 2 minutes. For people that haven't noticed that. But not much has changed on the Hawthorne board-wise. Okay. The 1 is still the favorite at 3-5. The 5 is second choice at 5-2. The 2 is the third choice at 4-1. Jim is going 5-1-2. Peter Galazzi is going 1-2-3. The 3 is at 8-1. The 4 is still the longest price on the board at 11-1. So.
And your exact is 14-1 still. So. Yeah. And double the pool now. So I don't know. What do the pools normally end up? Do you know off of the exact is there? Like 9,000 or so? At least that's what the first race was.
Yeah.
Okay.
It'll probably be about that because it's with
smaller field.
With a smaller field. And this one, it might be a little bit higher because it's turf, because there's a favorite.
Yeah.
That's solid.
So that number is going to move because I mean, then there's 10 times as much money coming in on that exacta pool then. So we'll have to keep a close eye on that.
Well, the 1 is getting a good trip as expected. So is a 3. So is that the 3? No, that's a 10. Never mind.
10, yeah. The 10 at 12-1 is kind of interesting.
Oh, now you say that.
Well, because before I thought it was 6-1, so.
Oh, right.
But maybe I just didn't look closely enough. Yeah, I didn't look closely enough because I would have told you 10-1 if.
Yeah, that is a little interesting, right? Had a Gallop Plus last out. They're like, maybe this horse, maybe we've been keeping this horse running short for some dumb reason. We've always wanted to go long.
I think because they were like when I looked at the grid, they all kind of looked the same, so there wasn't a whole lot there that I was like, oh yeah, I really want to do that one. But yeah, that's what we get for not really handicapping Saratoga because we don't really care. We're here for Hawthorne.
Exactly.
If this 2 wins, I'm gonna laugh though, because that'll be fun. I didn't bet it, so it won't do me any good, but it's an interesting decision to go that wide.
Yeah. That wide, a little early.
Come on, 3.
3 looks
Nope.
a little kind
Little done.
plotty.
Yeah.
7. Nope. 8. 7, 8, 7, 8, 7, 8, 10. Yeah, I think all things said and done, maybe the 10 would have been the right play, but either way, it would have been a loser because I wasn't playing 8 or 7 in that
Yeah.
spot. So that was that. But the 9 not going early kind of changed things a little bit.
Yeah. The 8 getting the lead was, I guess, kind of to be
No, yeah,
expected.
no, because I talked about that. Like,
Yeah.
they had to go to the lead. This is
Yeah.
not a horse that passed. They had to do.
Yep.
They had to do that.
It just,
it's
yeah,
just-
and especially
they are
going
what
this
they are.
distance. Yeah, that, yes, absolutely.
All right.
Hmm.
Let's get back to the real action. Hawthorne, race 2.
And honestly, even money on this one feels a little bit like a bet for me. I shouldn't be betting even monies, and I won't be betting even monies, but also, isn't even money kind of a gift? Why?
I mean, just if it was 5.5,
Fair.
I think that's really, I mean,
Yeah.
that's like the only thing is like 5 furlongs is that could be the kicker. I mean, the other thing I didn't mention, I put it in the write up for those that are following there, is Mojica's been like almost perfect on this horse, so that is a positive. Jose Herrera Alvarez Hawthorne 3. Yeah, we talked about the 3 journey. Just the race that they won sprinting, that being State Bred Company. Yeah. I mean, if the one gets beat, I think. I mean, one seems like the most likely, but the 5 furlongs and trying to run from off the pace
And even money.
and even money, right? The combination.
Yeah. Seems like the best horse, but like you said, I think the 5 furlongs is probably enough to make him at least question if he's going to be able to get up, right? Like, if it's 5.5, I think he's shorter price. He may also end up just being shorter price when they end up going off, but yeah, the 1-4
Yeah,
is now
that's why it's always
17.
like in some races it's so like it's easy. Like in race 1 to just be like, okay, well I'm eliminating this one and this just seems like a good bet. Like that's who I'm gonna play. That's who I'm gonna play to win. And this one's like it's a little bit trickier. So I'm gonna key around the 4. I don't think the 4 is the most likely winner, but is the biggest number and hope that the 4 runs first or second in this race.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, you made the case for it that made enough sense, and you're getting 19-20 to 1. So as long as it doesn't act up, no, that's the
I mean, a little bit of a miracle to see the 2 closers run 1-2, but who knows?
Yeah.
Way well, here's Mansour Candy on the far outside, fastest of all to the front. Mansour Candy takes the lead. Journey now second. There goes Bella Kazoo up to be third. Then towards the inside, Ravens Ransom fourth. Sine Quanon on the move from fifth. They're covered by about 7 lengths as they move around the far turn. Mansour Candy leads by 2. Journey chasing second by 4. Sine Quanon picking up the leaders on the outside third. Bella Kazoo fourth. Ravens Ransom fifth. They turn for the money. And Mansour Candy has the lead by 2.5, 3. Journey chasing second. Sine Quanon on the outside with Bella Kazoo between horses. All chasing.
4 gonna get second. Come on, 4 get second.
It's Mansour Candy in full command. The battle's going to be for second.
Ooh. This is gonna be tight.
Candy, a 4-length winner. Tight for second. Oh boy.
Oh gosh.
Bella Kazoo
it's way tighter than I would like.
That can go either way for second.
Oh.
Wow. Yeah, I got 5-2 on that 5. Should have just stuck with my.
The loan speed.
Yeah.
Exactapole 8,600.
And we got 5, let's say 4, because that would be good for somebody on this stream. 16. Did you have that?
Yeah.
I mean, you had the 4 with basically everybody, right?
Not everybody.
But
But yes.
can we call it off with the replay? Probably not.
I
Nope.
think it's 1. I think it's outside, right?
I wasn't going to say it. I was going to try and be hopeful.
It does look outside, right?
It does look outside, yes. But
But it's tight. It's hard
It
to
is
say
very
on the
tight.
angle. But
And considering one you got 3-5 and one you got 19-1,
yeah.
feels like by default, like the 4 should get like a thumb on the scale to help have it cover, because that feels like the correct thing to do. I know that's not how it actually works and nobody actually cares but us, but still.
Yeah, but it definitely
Aw,
was outside. Well, right idea, but that was definitely something.
Finished first once, and Snake went
Was
on.
there a reason you didn't love the Lone Speed 5? Well, I mean, after the race, easy to say Lone Speed 5, right? But we talked about this race as like there really wasn't. I mean, the 5 wasn't really like, I don't know. I mean, I guess they could have been, but the two wanted to show early speed, and I don't think the 5 would have been lone speed. But if we can go back and we can watch the break, the 2 stumbled out of the gate, started to rush up for the lead, and then checked. And if they're forward, I don't think the 5 is lone speed. Maybe that changes it a little bit, but no, I don't think anybody didn't love is such a strong word, but didn't. Yeah, I mean, the horse fit. It was just more of like
yeah, when we were talking about it, it certainly felt like the 2 and the 3 were going to go as well, and the 3 off of the break, right? Because the 3 was the one that was coming off of.
The 2 didn't stumble. It smashed the one out of the gate. I mean, I'll bet you heads up that horse stumbled. We can watch the head on.
As soon as it comes back on the replay, I'll throw it up.
When it comes back on the replay. I mean, I'm happy. I'm happy being wrong, but I'm fairly certain I did see that. We can watch the replay, and that will end all discussion. Okay, I'm down with that.
If the 2 goes, stumble, breaks, whatever it was that had it not be on the lead and at the back of the pack is what would make this not, there's no world where I would have guessed the 2 was last other than what happened, right? Where it's like, it comes out of the gate slow, whatever happened, but it was on the lead. And with it not being on the lead, it makes the 5 lone speed all of a sudden much easier. And I mean, and I really looked and just said, oh, Jareth Loveberry. I should just bet Jareth Loveberry. What more do you need?
I know, he's winning everything. Yeah. No, I mean, the 5 made sense. It was a tough race. I mean, again, like the 1 maybe was like the best horse, but there were challenges, and like having trouble at the start only added to that.
Yeah.
So the horse the 1's really not a like great gate horse.
But you also expect it to be running late anyway. So
yeah.
I mean, if that goes 5.5, I think the 5 still wins that race. I mean,
definitely
they were catching it. They were coming up, like they were making up ground on him, but I don't think it would have been enough to make up had they gone longer still. Like that just felt like the 5 got the perfect trip and kind of ran away with it. Like that was much easier than it should have been.
Yeah. The 5, and 5-2 was good and was all said and done, but it was not. That was not always a given either. Like there's even money 2-1 at some point. So yeah, we'll see. But we're watching the head on like a shark. I have to make, and this is not opinion based because I have to make the notes, so I have to be very accurate if the horse stumbled or not.
All right, here we go.
Moment of truth. What's the call?
I think he just broke out. I don't even think he was slow out. Whatever he's doing now is what cost him.
Like taking hold?
No, like the horse just looks like he wants to go sideways.
Well, he's like under a hold. He's like rating. It looked more like when they did after the race, when they did like the slower mow head on, it looked like the 2 lost his footing out of the gate. And that was part of why he broke in into
He definitely
the 1.
broke in. I don't think he
And
stumbled.
the one broke slow, which is usually kind of what happens, right? We've talked about
Yeah.
this many times. Horses will run into gaps, so as soon as a horse breaks slow. But I have it on big screen.
Okay. I would definitely not say rammed. I would say we don't have a ramming. I think we have a he comes out and he didn't even touch him. Yeah. I think he broke.
Yeah,
in.
it's a little bit of both. It's like slightly stumble is a little exaggerating, rammed is a little exaggerating as well, but lost his footing and broke in.
Yeah.
But the one breaking slow is par for the course. That's what the guy always does.
Yeah. And if he broke
but
quickly,
then rating,
yeah.
rating right here,
which does, I mean,
that was also the question with the 2 as well. It was like he's not 6 furlong dirt speed is not 5 furlong turf speed. So like trying to say, he's going to do that is like, yeah, I don't know if we can quite do that. But so like Ellen, in hindsight, the 5 was probably the play.
Yeah. The 2 just doesn't look like, at least those first, I don't know, 16th of a mile, less than a 16th of a mile, whatever it was, where like his head's all over the place. I don't think he was under a hold. Maybe he was. It just looked like he didn't want to run on the grass, and eventually he's okay doing it. Yeah. But that just looked like he didn't want to do this. So I would just say he's, they tried the turf. It looked like the second time on the turf. So I think they're good not doing that anymore.
Well, and it's the same barn, right? The 2 and the 5. So
interesting.
Again, I think we'll be okay with the outcome when it's all said and done. But anyways, let's move on. I feel like we sliced and diced that. And yeah, and when it's all said and done, the 5 was probably the
correct one. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I still probably would have played 5. I would have played 5-4, and I would have won, which I did play, and I lost. So, and that's that.
So this was the one race I had an opinion in, like a real, like I actually think of something, and I'm actually going to get a price, though maybe not, because the 3 Blurt is currently sitting at. Whoa, is he really 5-2?
But he should drift, right? Looks like the fourth choice in the pick 3.
Yeah, but 6-4, no, 5-2. Okay, but yes, not going to be that low.
And just gonna, I mean, definitely gonna drift. Currently the 3rd choice, but should be the 4th choice.
Yeah,
so
one's
probably
gonna be,
4 or 5-1.
That's well, DRF saying 9-1.
Oh, third choice in the double, 4th choice.
Yeah, and
third choice in both. Sorry, no, this thing switched quick on me. 3rd choice in the double. They're like the same wheel pace for the double and the pick 3. So. And the 4th choice in the pick 3. So,
and Optics is saying 10-1. DRF is saying 9-1. So I'm going to go with 9 to 10-1, and we'll call it a day there. 3 just gets the lead and says, "Come catch me." And maybe they do, because maybe the 3 is just a $4,000 claimer that's not very good. But I don't know. He's running enough races that he's been fine. And I don't think this group is, it's a $4,000 claimer. So anything is going to happen. It's why it's one of my favorite type of races, like this and Emerald and Turfway and all those other ones that have these low-level claimers. Like, it's fun. And when you look at the plot like this, the 3 is way out there, and he is a big circle. So that typically means he's going to get caught by all those squares, but he's also the only one over the par line. And I don't know that has a whole lot to do with it when it's all said and done, but none of these horses are really all that good. Lucky Boss beat Blurt, the 3. The 2 beat the 3 last out. The 3 was 7-2 in that race, and the 2 was 2-1. So I mean, they were considered similar. Now on a slight cutback, right, a mile and 16th back to a mile and 70. I don't know that's going to make a huge difference, but second off the layoff, it wasn't a huge layoff for the 3, but enough. 174 days now, back on 3 weeks. Figured it was a good shot to take.
Yeah, with the 2?
I was going to take I'm taking the 3.
On the 3. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Got it. Yep. It's coming out of the same race.
Yeah. But the 3 getting, gets the lead and just runs and holds on this time. It wasn't like oh man, he's the best horse ever, but he's a low-level claimer, and he got caught last time, got tired, and I'm going to say he doesn't get quite as tired this time, cutting back and all of those things.
Yeah, I like that. And the 2's favored right now, and I'm a little negative on this horse in this particular spot, especially at the shorter number. Coming back, on May 10th, we can check the record, but I'm pretty sure, he made sense that day. Let's put it that way. Had the class, was finding the big class drop from the race at Turf Paradise, much lower race par in that 5:10 race. It's back at Hawthorne where he'd run competitive races in the past. It fit all around. And he had a perfect trip. Now, while today is the same condition, pretty much like the same distance, splitting hairs, today's race par is much higher. So he's kind of he is stepping up in class off a win, despite it being the same level. And even in terms of the plot, last out, he was a quadrant 2 square. Today's a quadrant 4 square. Just different stuff to take on as the favorite. So process of elimination, that's already one horse. What are you looking at?
The plot history for the 2. Make it much smaller square. Yeah, I see it. It makes a lot of sense to be against that one.
Yeah, at a short as the favorite, right?
Yeah.
You'd want to take him on. You'd want to take him on today.
Yep. Sorry, I kind of forget that my screen's showing, so when I click on things, everybody's looking at it. I'm gonna do it on these other screens.
We all want to see what you're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I agree with the 3. He does have early speed. He has fitness. He's been able to be best of the speed in the past. Rider change, things that even though Cologne hasn't been on in the past, at least just shows maybe some intent. Yeah, in terms of the 1 who's now co-favored, this horse is a very tough read. Because in many ways he would be the horse to beat. He's just been running much higher race par, finding that change in class, decent trip last out, putting in a close behind a lone winner. He's more of a quadrant. I know he's quadrant 4 here, but they've been able to show early speed in the past. So they could do that here, rider change, things like that, rail draw. But his current form, current form is okay, but it's not. You just wonder if he's had a very long campaign.
Yeah. His longest break is 72 days, which came back in December at Oaklawn, where he left Hawthorne in October, waited for Oaklawn to open, and was like, opening day at Oaklawn, I'll be there. And ran every
he ran good at Oaklawn until he didn't. He just got a little over the top. And, placement, timing, whatever.
They made a bunch of money. He didn't win at Oaklawn, but he ran, especially at the beginning of the meet there, he ran second twice, third twice, and, $12,500, $8,000 claimers.
Yeah.
So kind of the same basic level as what you're doing here, probably slightly better horses, but, basically the same. And then since then, just, since that March 15th race, he's just been way slower and way worse. So I don't know. It feels like one you definitely want to take on in this situation.
Yeah. So the other horse that I was giving a look to, outside the 3 that made sense, especially if the 1 is off form and they don't go, that I'm looking in the paddock very intently for the front wrap removal on the 4. Because that would be something I think of a positive. Come on, graphics. He's hiding in the stall.
These are the things you need to be there for. Oh,
Nope, they're on.
On.
It's not impossible, but it's one of those things that, like, if they had come off, at least I would have been like, oh, okay, this
At least some, yeah.
this is
something
going to
makes
be
you-
this could be the form reversal key, because he's
Yep.
another horse that is kind of moving forward ever so slightly. It's not super obvious, but like
Yeah.
the back numbers are there. They're running at a much higher level last out. They get that class drop. They ran at this level back on April 19th, which is opening day. They had a wide trip and no push. Was 4-1 that day. So some, or 9-2. So some intent. Do you think yeah, you know what's tricky? This is the other thing that was tricky about the pace of this race is the 6 and the 3 are the same barn, and they're kind of like the horses that you would think would be forward.
Mm-hmm.
So are we going to see kind of like a race 2 where one decides to take back?
Well, and it's owned and trained by the same guy too. Like the owner
Yeah.
is the trainer, and
Yeah.
yeah. See, we need you there to ask him which one's going.
Well, sometimes I've learned this isn't always the best question, or that they have the right answer, I should
Right.
say. Because I've had we're gonna send. I'm like,
Yeah.
there's 5 other horses that are gonna send, and your horse is the 6th fastest. So how's that gonna work out? Oh, well, maybe we'll sit back. Okay. Well, glad we got that figured out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now that you say it, and I'm looking at, but I think the way that I was handicapping it before I noticed that was that the 6 is coming off the layoff, and it's a long enough of a layoff that it feels like even if he does go, is he gonna be able to go? I don't think he's gonna be fast enough first off the layoff. Looking at what he's done off the layoff, he hasn't really had one. I mean, he had one March of last year, and wasn't very good, and was back kind of against a similar enough group, right? I mean, 5K claimers there, and then
Yeah, but much lower race par.
you're right.
I mean, I prefer that where you were looking on the 3. I mean, he's been running at the higher race pars, running at Hawthorne.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I was thinking. Is like, there is no, like, I don't have any great reason why I'd want the 6 over the 3, and knowing that they're in the same barn, like maybe it's even more so that I want the 3.
Yeah.
I don't know though. Like that does throw a little wrench into my idea.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you. I don't think that the 6, I think that's the way I wrote about it too, right? Going back. They ran in the same, the 6 and the 3 ran in the same common race at Mountaineer. But like the 6 got the trip that day.
Yeah.
Off the pace, and like because the 3 set it up. But this is a different dynamic, because if no one goes and duels with the 3, then the 6 isn't going to be able to stalk and pounce.
Right.
And I don't know, unless the 1 does show early speed today, I don't see anybody that can go with a 3.
That was sort of the
Yeah, because the 3 is even the race that the 3 was coming out of last year, even though it wasn't like good outcomes, but those are like all very fast early paces.
Right.
And that's part of why he's that big circle, right? Because he's in those races going very fast.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna tail you. I like your idea.
I'm gonna play the 3 to win, and at least at the moment, with about a third of the pool you're going to get in the exacta. The 6-3 exacta is 29 to 1, and the 3-6 exacta is 30 to 1 to 1. So you're getting 30 to 1 there. So I'm probably going to play that as well. And I don't know if that's the best idea now that I'm saying it out loud.
Who's the best
Isn't it?
closer? The 2 could be. Yeah, it could be.
And
The 1
I
and
guess
the
that's
2
more, that's
is
more of a play
they're
against
kind
the
of the
1 and the
same.
2.
Yeah.
That's sort of my question. Like the fear, I guess, is the 1 and the 2 are getting bet like they're one of those 2 are going to win, and if they,
Why don't you want to just do a straight win bet?
I am going to. I was just wondering if
Okay.
I could do it like to a little bit of like, oh, I'll throw the 6 in there because we're talking about it, but I don't know that the 6 and the 3 are going to run 1-2. It feels like the 3
Yeah.
or the 6 are going to win, and then the 1 and 2 are going to run second and third. Would be sort of the way I would. Right, like the 1-2 running them down most certainly feels entirely possible, though.
Right.
Yeah, just to win on the 3. I was trying to get a little too cute. Yeah, especially at that. Yeah, you're going to get a good enough price on that one. I'm here for it. Not going to pay for my gas with it, but I'll pay for. I have a truck. It's too much, right? It's
Oh my
too
God.
much. Yeah.
In California, don't you have to have a Prius?
No, you have to have an income to pay for the gas. However, there lies the problem. But slight tangent because we got 2 minutes. They have E85, which was like this like weird gas that they made that like runs and is way cheaper. So like my gas that I buy is like $3 a gallon, and it's like half the price of everybody else's. It's like the greatest thing in the world. So one thing that pretty sure was W thing that he did to like make like get around like regulating gases and all like the reasons you did do it, but it's like, yeah, it works for me 20 years later. So that's all. Is the 1 going to win this race? Like they're betting this 1 like can't lose. And
I mean,
big 3 is.
That's what I was saying about the 1. Like if the 1 doesn't win today, this horse has to take a layoff. This is as softer a spot than that they've found in the longest time. But there's still a layoff could, like they just might not be. They might not be there anymore.
He's not that good. That's what
he took a bunch of money last time.
Yeah, and got crushed.
For the chat that's saying just bet Jareth. Jareth was aboard and didn't matter. So
sorry, I forget that there's a chat, so I need to like click on that once in a while. Sorry, everybody. Yeah, I'm gonna just do I did a win bet on the 3, and that's all I did. I don't think I'm gonna. If I did an exacta, I think I'm gonna toss this 2 or toss the 1. Yeah, I'm just playing the 3, just the 3 to win. That's it. The 2 is gonna.
I'm gonna keep it simple. I can't figure out anything beyond that because like I could see the 1 beating the 3. I could see the 1 finishing second. I could see the 2 finishing second. I could see it's like if the 3's off the board, that's that too, right?
Yeah, it's a 5-horse field. It shouldn't be that hard, right? It's like it should be more straightforward than what it seems like, and that's one of the beauties of these lower level claimers is that they're.
I mean that's the thing is like people be like, oh, there's not that many horses. It's like, but when you get even if it's a 5-horse field, but it's a competitive 5-horse field, it's like we're figuring out ways to play it and looking at it in like a bunch of different ways and making a case for an 11 to 1 shot. That
just walk on
probably could be a 13 to 1 shot that could be 3 to 1.
Yeah.
Right? In this race.
This 1's going to get tired. He's not going to do this. The 3's just going to go. The problem is he may just set the 3 up for failure is riding him that close.
They're going not so fast.
Not so fast. Though at this level, maybe that is fast.
Yeah, the thing is, I kind of like with, maybe, but I'd like at this point, who's riding a 3? Luis Colon, who's a good turf rider. So maybe he's riding this like it is a turf race. Like I'll just like rate early and then try to sprint home. But you'd like to see him try to
Be
open up a
gone.
little
Yeah.
bit. Like right here, like
already be
is where
going.
you've got to try to start to sprint because you've kept everybody in such close range.
Yep.
That
the one's just gonna walk right by
the
you.
one's gonna get there. Yeah. You had to kind of, if your one advantage is having early speed, you got to try to go for it.
Yeah.
But he's not done yet. He's trying.
That one still needs a break, but
yeah,
said,
the one is very tired. But the one found the
right
one is
group.
very tired, but
very tired. But
they're both
all
tired.
very tired. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you and I went and ran a mile,
fest.
we'd all be tired and we'd stop running at the 3/4 mile also.
All right. Shout out Venezuela in the chat. Frank Reyes getting it done. Frank Reyes is a good rider.
$1-3 paid $12. That's actually not bad at all. Didn't play it, but that's okay. Yeah, I didn't like. I mean, I think I'm still against the one. Like, I understand the one and all those things, but like in that race at 4 to 5, it's one that you probably don't want to be playing.
Yeah.
All right. Let's move to race 4 real quick, and then we'll what are we
at? What's the Saratoga situation? And then we got
0 minutes to the oh man, the race I wanted you to handicap is going off as we speak, so I won't.
At Saratoga?
Yeah, race 8.
Oh, I could handicap it without looking. Do you want to pull up the video and I'll try to do it without looking? 55 starter. They're not. Did you rewind it?
No.
They're not. They haven't started yet. I have plenty of time.
They're walking onto the turf course. Yeah, you have time, but this race, Saratoga 8th race.
Oh, I skipped ahead. Okay, I was looking at the 9th. I was like, why are they on the turf? Saratoga 8th. Okay.
It's a bunch of it's a 5.5 furlong turf race for 4-year-old fillies and older, 4 and older fillies and mares. And just like the who's of like running in these races in New York. They're just sort of, I don't know, Italian soiree, ready to jam in our time. Like
the 6 is value.
Yeah. Yeah. Who did I like?
No, you know who I like in here? What's wrong with the 10? I'm gonna go with the 10. 6 to 1. Ooh. Yeah. Maybe not.
That was like they're all that way where they're like, oh, what's wrong with them? Nothing. Except everything.
The 6 is like almost too good of a price. Makes me a little.
Which one? The 6?
Yeah. It's like 5.5 furlong specialist, good racing, coming into this race. Looks good on the plot.
Ortiz. Mark Cassie, Jose Ortiz not getting bet. What is wrong with it?
Yeah, the 9 makes sense. Who are they betting? 3?
The 3, yeah.
Yeah, that one I don't like. I feel like last time was a time, right? Cut back, then had a perfect trip.
Yep.
Won at 5 to 1 that day. Has a lot of red keywords. Not for me.
Yeah, that was all the things about that one, especially like also seems to want the lead, like or need the lead to some degree, where there's enough speed here that I don't know, probably gets the lead, but I don't feel all that comfortable with it.
The 6 and the 9 are better. I'm sorry, 6 and 10. Even the 9. Typoed my way into another horse, but yeah. 10 kind of looked like on the plot would kind of get this.
Yeah.
This kind of like maybe I can steal it on the front end. And if not, the 6 should get a tracking trip.
And because we're on YouTube, I think people in the comments are seeing it before we are, because it may already be done.
3-length lead, shoot it true. Here comes Shoot It True on the outside, trying to get to this tough Roja, who just keeps on going. Roja, 3-length lead. Shoot It True is in second. Late run, Italian Soiree is gaining
Come
ground.
on, 10.
Second,
Yeah.
but Roja waved goodbye right out of the gate to win the Intercontinental. Tight photo between Italian Soiree and Shoot It True.
Not that hard at all.
10.
You
We had
just-
a lot of tens in the chat. Yeah, it made sense. Bet 2. All right.
oh,
Where
wrong
to
race.
now? We
We're going back
got
to Hawthorne.
Hawthorne.
Yeah, I guess it was that easy. Stop trying to make it so difficult on myself.
Oh, you thought like
I didn't like anybody in this race. Like I threw my hands up and said, I don't know, I'll look at it. I didn't bet anything on it because it just didn't feel like a race that I could really get behind. And like the 6, 9, and 5 all being big squares like they are, was like, all right, well, maybe if this whole thing collapses and speed rating, contention, all those things look like it could collapse, and maybe that's the way to go. And then why will it collapse? I don't know. Cause yeah. So anyways, I threw my hands up and just said, I don't like this race.
that's why sometimes not looking at anything ahead of time is like better, because then you're just playing the board, right?
Yep.
You're just saying like, okay, who's the favorite? Do I want that one? No. Okay, second choice. Do I want that one? No. Third choice. Oh, this one looks, yeah. What's going on here? Okay, that makes sense, right? And then you just like at that point, then you're just saying like, okay, I've assessed this horse as the horse to beat. Now I'm going to go to the next horse. Can they beat them? No. Like, can they? No. All right, done. Oh wait, this one looks interesting. Okay, maybe this is an executive.
Yeah. And you win it. I don't know what it ended up going off at. 6, 7, 5, something like that. 5-1, easy. Huh. Well, there you go. So the 4 is the 4 and the 2 are going to be the favorites at Hawthorne. Maiden special 7.5 on the turf. This one, I don't know what to do. I say that a lot today with a lot of these races. I had no plans to play a whole lot, and then I look more and more. It's like, so why is the 5 like, just looking at the standard? Like, how is the 5 not just like the obvious favorite here? And then I look and it's like,
well, they've never gone 2 turns, right?
So
and they are
stretching out
stepping up,
is-
and they are stepping up in class from maiden
Yep.
claiming to maiden special, and yeah, I mean, speed figures, like the speed figures from the 2 most recent starts, like are some of the higher, but
Yeah.
it's
Same as-
also
yeah.
we've seen that's all the 5 can do, right?
Right.
That's as best as they've got. They've been grit minus. Now they're going to have to stretch out. They're going to try to steal, right? Yeah, I mean, to me, I thought it went through like I thought it went through 2 and 4, and then obviously I'll talk about the note on the 6, who I gave a look to as well. But the barn of the 2 has already sent out a winner here pretty strongly. Debut at Turfway Park in December. It was a B- from the rail, kind of tricky, going 2 turns first out. Then some time, it was in maiden special weight company. Why was that race, for whatever reason, was 100,000 maiden special weight at Turfway?
Which one?
For the 2, their second start, which is like pretty kind of wild.
The December 10th and the March 26th are those auction restricted ones. So if they sold on auction for under some price,
that's why. Yeah.
And then the other ones, the February 12th is the open company.
Is an open. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, so much more competitive with like that slight change in class, right?
Yeah.
Competitive on debut, being a first start, and then in the March 26th race, 5-horse field stumbled out, made a wide rush into a pretty solid pace. Now it's been freshened, shows up on the circuit. They've been looking for the turf. The races came off the turf at Horseshoe Indianapolis a couple weeks ago. They found this spot. So the 2 makes sense to me.
Yes.
And speed figure wise has already been right, probably what it takes to win this race.
Yep.
Now, in terms of the 4, this horse also makes sense, right? Debut
Yeah.
around 2 turns at Churchill Downs, had an excuse, but then showed run with trouble, move, extra wide. Took a while to get to the races again. But looked like they were looking for the turf, right? Because going back
Yeah.
to last year, that October 30th race got taken off. So he gives some perhaps prep excuse for the April 7th race coming off the layoff, and then they improved getting to the turf around 2 turns on May 2nd. And I wasn't crazy about that trip. I think it's a horse that wants to be on or near the lead, so I think that could make things a little bit tougher for the 5, because I think they're going to send the 4, especially with Julio Felix aboard, who's pretty aggressive rider, is known for being a front running rider, that they're gonna send. So yeah, so that probably helps the 2 a little bit more to kind of get that first run trip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My notes on the 2 from those Hawthorne or from the Turfway races are like not very good, really bad. And then I kind of look and it's like, yeah, but that was open company or, the auction company at, I guess, towards the end of Turfway. So maybe facing weaker. This just felt like enough of a drop to, face open at Hawthorne just feels like a big enough of a drop that like maybe he's just due. But like if she were due, like she was due in that March 26th race, and maybe the stumble was enough to,
and then making a wide rush,
right? Like
and then
maybe that's enough.
and then the time off that followed.
And maybe the time off is enough to do it, but like they had the same basic amount of time off between that December and February race, and didn't do a whole lot with it. Like it was fine, but not that great. And
But
again,
that was a tougher race, and it was actually
right.
their best speed figure.
Yes, and also not a very good group either. Like we're still talking about like maidens at Turfway. It's not like we're talking about like these like great horses that go on to be,
Yeah, but I mean,
which is, I'm not saying that they're
but for example, right? Catnip Hill is in this race. Catnip Hill also ran at Turfway Park, didn't do anything at Turfway Park, and didn't do anything at Maiden Claiming. So
fair.
that's who Royal
Right.
Sassy has to be.
Is facing. Yeah, okay, fair. And maybe that's enough, right? Like, and that's part of my my big problem is like I see like the ratings of these races. I'm like, they're like the same type of races, but I don't think they really are. I think there's there's enough of a difference that maybe I should worry about class more than I normally do.
Yeah, and but again, it's like you're also like not wrong in that sense, but it just comes down to like price, and like right now the 2 being the 3rd choice in here, where there's many cases that you could make for the 2 being the most likely winner,
Right.
and they're the 3rd choice,
And if that happens,
right? And
then that's
the
another
most
story.
likely
Yeah.
winner would, in this case, also still have to come with some price compensation, but 3rd choice.
Yeah, which based
That's kinda
on
wild.
well, and the double pool, the 5 and the 2 are basically the same. In the pick 3 pool, the 4 and the 2 are basically the same. So I'm gonna fade the 5 or assume that the pick 3 is more accurate because it is most of the time. The 4 will be the favorite. The 2 will be a close second choice. Is my prediction. So I think the 2 comes not going to be that low though. I mean, even if the 4 is what, maybe the 4 does get super low. I don't know. Now I'm having a second thoughts, but 2 to 1 doesn't feel so bad, right? I mean,
No.
I don't know that I'm going to get 2 to 1. I guess is my bigger concern. I guess I thought that it would be a much lower price than he is, and she is, and maybe she.
Well, then we can get to the 6, who is the wild card in here, right? Because the 6 tried to get on the turf in that May 7th race. So again, going 2 turns first out.
Yep.
They are one of the 2 4-year-olds in this field, so both the 2, 4, and 5 are all 3-year-olds. So it was the 1, but tried for the turf. The note says turf, so it looks like a turf horse. Made that wide rush and then was in hand late. So not asking for too much that day. We got our boy Jareth Loveberry
What more
aboard.
do you need?
What more do you need at 7-1? Yeah, I mean, granted, like I have no problem taking the 5 on, especially even money.
Yeah.
You know, it is a step up in class. It's a stretch out in distance. Okay, they win a mile first out at Kentucky Downs, but since then you've had probably plenty of time to find a mile race if that's what you were going for, right?
Yep.
The 2 races, no kind of excuse to suggest that impacted them to not run 5 points faster,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
And yeah, and I think that they are going to try to send. The 4, I think, is going to be forward. It's going to keep them honest, so they're going to have to deal with that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not so much against the 4. It's more against the 4 at the price, but like the 4's had their chances, and I know you're talking about the 6.
I'm not against the 4 at all. I'm against the 5, but I'm not against the 4 or the 2 or the 6.
Okay. Yeah.
So how to play?
Yeah, that's. I think I'm gonna land on the 2. I think that's where at least my heart will be. I don't know if it makes sense to bet because now I've reneged on my idea of what those Turfway races are. It's like, yeah, they were bad, but that's okay because now they're gonna face this company, and look, they're way better here. And now I'm gonna overemphasize class apparently. I don't know. Again, this is another race where it's just like there's only 6 horses. Why is this so hard? And it becomes very hard. And a lot of it is because of the price, right?
When it's over, the chat will let us know. Like, that horse is a standout. What was going on? Why don't you love this one? It's a complete standout. So
the 6 does feel like the one that would make the most sense to move forward, though, right? I mean,
yeah, definitely.
Not going out
just
on big of a limb, yeah.
Project and then get the price to say that the horse is going to move forward 30 points, which it's not unreasonable. It's just a second start. They're getting on the turf, on the surface that they want. So.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. This race hurts my head a little bit more than it should. And a lot of the time, that's what turf races do to me most of the time either way. And then turf maiden races on top of it. And then turf maiden races where a bunch of them are coming from kind of different places first time on the turf and going, I guess not that much shorter, right? Because 8 at Indiana and 8 at Turfway is kind of the same as 7.5 at Hawthorne, right? Because that's a 2 turn, right? Isn't that the full way around?
It's 2 turns. 7.5 is 2 turns, yeah.
But it's like one full loop, right? Or basically one full, yeah. So it's like basically the same as what they do at Turfway when they run a mile. Like, yes, it's half furlong more, but like, I don't know if it's that much of a difference. But yeah, the throwing all these in together and like the 5 is the only one that's hit second, and the rest of them like, oh, he got third a couple of times, but that's all they've done. Like, there's nobody here wants to win, so just makes it that much harder for me to have any sort of real like, I love this one. Even if the price weren't a consideration, like I don't know that I love the 4 if you were 3 to 1, maybe I do, but yeah, goofy. Did you look at Churchill at all?
I just looked at it and saw there were 3 horses.
Oh, perfect. So that's definitely a race you want to talk about.
Yeah, I think we can let that one go.
Yeah, for sure. Anybody in the next race? Maybe we look at a double here. That's
what I was just looking at. So I think that I prefer the 2 over the 6 in race 5. Kiss Me One More Time over number 6 Wildwood Adios. But I also thought that the 7 was like kind of a sneaky horse as well. So basically I was trying to take on the 6 with 2-7.
Yeah. Because this is a 15K claimer going 5.5 on the turf. This race 4. race 5. Sorry, race 5. So not a 4K claimer like we had before. It's like a middle of the pack type at Hawthorne, right? Like that's
Yeah.
the
Yeah, there's not many people, like 15,000 is like kind of protected.
okay,
Yeah, there's not many that are going to be like, oh, I'm going to claim this horse for 15.
right. The choose plot, like whenever I see a plot like this where you have one like in the surface distance in quad 2 and the standard in quad 4, it always throws me off of like,
Yeah.
what's this horse supposed to be doing? And then looking at the races, he's like, well, he's going to be in quad 2. He's going to be in quad 4. Like you don't really like it. It makes sense given where he's ran, and because she's not really ran a normal, like there's nothing that you really can latch onto. Like this is its running style,
Right.
and dropping in class, right? Because it was, I don't know if it was
I think
protected last
that's
episode.
kind of that's sort of the big part of it, right? Is a lot of those races is on the turf is maiden special weight company, and then allowance company. Even though it's state
Yeah.
bred, it's still like those higher protected races. So then when you look
Gotcha.
at the really only race that was under these conditions that the plot, it's tough to pick that one race out on the plot, but that one race is September 28th. That's the only time they were kind of under similar claiming conditions sprinting.
Yep.
And the trip was, kind of was probably more quadrant 2 than quadrant 4.
And the more recent races, like the standard are showing, and makes it make more sense to be in quad 4, but just doesn't do a lot of closing the last 3 races, 4, 5, 6. Like just seems to run in place, but the rest of them don't seem to do a lot of running either. Like it seems like it could just be a merry-go-round in this race. Like, is there one that?
Well, that was part of why I like looked at the 7 a little bit, because I'm
Yeah.
like, but I don't know. That's like kind of another horse too that you're like, I'm not really sold that you're like sprint speed.
Yeah. That October 9th race got towards the front, but didn't get the front, and against maidens, and lost like was 16-1 in that race. And maybe you can blame the good turf, but like same thing the race before that, the same thing the race before that, and just kind of maybe they do inherit the lead by default. Does the one actually get the lead, or is that more of a because it was a dirt horse? It's like,
Well, the turf races way back showed
way
early
back.
speed.
Yeah.
So I
But
think
against
that they
maiden
are,
and maiden
but
claimer. Yeah.
but it's a different
Yeah.
level. It was a different barn at the time.
But always gets the lead. Like every race has been
Yeah.
in the front. So that's
Yeah.
kind of the only way they can go. Now, maybe the 5.5 is the right, like, can only get so tired doing it, but feels like it should be at Los Al going 1,000 yards because it's like a little better chance of not getting caught so much. But yeah, the one just feels like it's like the biggest circle you'll see, which obviously it kind of is.
Yeah, it's a step up in class for them as well.
Right. So you have all the things working against it. So, but yeah,
which kind of does bring me, it brings me back and more to the 2, right? Because it's like the 1 is going to be forward. I think they tried to send the 3 again because that worked out last time. That was kind of your best shot. The 5 is probably, it's like similar. It's like the difference in change of plot between like the 2 and the 5, but I mean, maybe you could get there. I feel like the 2 is a little bit more established, but the 5 does have select races that are capable. I mean, as far as the 6, I think they're. It's a tough one too, because it's another horse that's like route speed that's going to cut back to a sprint, and I don't know what that trip is for them, right? Because if they try to duel, then maybe they're the best of speed, but they're still going to have to deal with pace pressure, and they come from off the pace. I don't know. It's a tricky
Yeah.
horse. That's a
Yeah.
tricky horse. And they've
Yeah.
also, I think that was the other thing too, is with the 6 at a short price is they've run good races at this level, but they've been at this level for a long time.
Right.
And now when it's a 2 claiming level.
Yeah.
And there is 1B in there, but that was 2 turns. And even with the 2, for example, like I pointed out, there's only those 2 races that were at this condition, and the one of them being a sprint, and that was like their best race. The best race they've ever run.
Yeah. So we were looking at race 5 because we were looking to do a double, and I feel like you can kind of do a couple of them here. I mean, there's not. Yeah, I mean the pools, maybe it's going to get moved some, but the 2-7 is $50, $49 for a dollar, like 49 to 1. Like, feels like one to take a shot at, and the 4 is 30.
Yeah, Russ, we talked about the 6.
Yeah.
Not even just, the excuse with the surface switch, but looks more like a turf horse. The trip wasn't asked for their best. So yeah, absolutely.
6-7, I'm not going to do it. 55 to 1.
There's no 6-7 to even play.
6-7 double.
Oh, 6-7. Oh, that you can play.
Yeah. I was looking at the double just because it felt like that was the play, but the 6-8 to 1 is probably a better play. Is it going to stick around? Yeah, it's going to be.
Or this 6 underneath 2-4, or keyed or something.
Yeah, I mean that's the 2 is 24. The 4 is a 10. I don't know. It's probably good enough. Yeah. Let's give it a shot. I'll stick to the vertical and not do the double, and I'll do a 2-4 over 6. Actually, I'll do 2 over 6 for more, and then 4 over 6 for a little bit.
Yeah.
There we go. Have any money left? I was having a hard time getting money in today, so I had to. I'm good. We're fine.
All right.
Yeah.
It looks like there's some people did good at Churchill. I'm just looking at the chat. There's only a few horses in there. The 5 ended up winning, paying. There's 2 even money shots and a 3 to 1. So
Take out some other.
oof.
Yeah. 5 paid $4.
5 had to close. Yeah.
What a weird race that is.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a bad race to start. Then you get 2 out of the 5 scratch, and it's even worse. And race 2 was pretty. Well, it was better. But it was a maiden claimer. That was why I skipped it. Yeah. And then Saratoga will have
9 minutes or so.
Yeah, that race was. I mean, I know everybody loves everything that ever happens at Saratoga always, but it's a competitive field. How about that? I don't think there's going to be. No, the 8 is 2 to 1. Looks like it'll end up being 8 to 5. So not.
Oh, good. I mean, the 8 looks like a weak favorite. So,
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Had a flow-aided trip last out. Looking at today's plot, doesn't look like they have a pace advantage in here. It looks like there's a lot of horses that want to be on or near the lead, including the second choice, who's a 2. 4's up there. 3 is up there. Right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
yeah, definitely when you can take a shot against that one.
yeah, and I mean, a lot of horses are like moving in class as well. I mean, the 2 is stepping up in class off a perfect trip, off a regress
boy.
2 back.
6 is going to
The
get
7 looks like a good play. 7 looks like a solid play. The 1 looks like a decent play.
I'm canceling my bets. They're going to scratch this 6, aren't they?
Shoot, I started handicapping. What happened?
It flipped over.
Oh no. Like how? Like flipped,
like
hit the ground?
hit the ground, back on the ground.
Oh my god. They should scratch.
They are not. They're putting it in the gate.
All right. Well.
I canceled all of my bets because
Yeah.
that.
I mean, just on principle, like you
Yeah.
should have scratched. Like I'm not gonna play if you're doing. Well, I used it in the pick 4, so if that can be your backup, I'll share it with you.
Did the pick 4 start here?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to turn up the volume so you don't have to hear nothing. Let's get
Royally
something out of it.
Sassy leads a little more than 2 lengths. Towards the inside, Veronica for the win. Beth's Vengeance alongside her. Catnip Hill is back to 4th. And then on the outside, RBG in the yellow cap. In between horses, Bourbon America looking for racing room still. As they move into the far turn, it's Royally Sassy the leader. And around the turn they go. Royally Sassy still up top. Veronica for the win, chasing second. In third position on the inside, Catnip Hill. Followed up along the inside by Bourbon Americana. RBG is next, and Beth's Vengeance drops out last. They come off the turn and straighten away. Royally Sassy still has the lead. On the outside, Veronica for the win. Catnip Hill is coming on. Then towards the inside, Bourbon Americana. A little more than a 16th to go. Royally Sassy still has the lead and going strong to the wire. The battle will be for second. Royally Sassy in front. Catnip Hill got up for second. Then it was Veronica for the win. Bourbon Americana.
That Turfway race is going to be a key, huh? Going to need a big green keyword in that one.
I don't know. Slow down on that, but it definitely for this race that horse made sense, and that's why I was like against the 5. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, it's just like play the 4 months. Oh, nice, 115, nice. Right, go Hawthorne.
24,000 in the exacta pool. Wow.
Let's go.
Yeah, I don't know. You can upgrade that to any of them to a key race. As much as I like to pretend that you could, I think we're. I guess they didn't race against each other. I thought for some reason I thought Catnip Hill, the 2 and the 3 raced one another before, but I don't think.
No, I was when I was looking at
Yeah.
Catnip Hill, I was just saying
They
the
ju-
two
they
the 2
also-
is now
yeah.
running against horses like Catnip Hill, who had been
Yeah,
running at
right.
Turfway at a lower level and
Yeah.
not doing anything at all. At least the 2 had been running B minuses in Maiden Special Weight Company. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, they're kind of, you know, second tier on that circuit, but based on who they are up against in here.
Yeah, it was the March 26th. They both raced, and so I think I got it stuck in my head. That
Okay,
they
that
raced
makes
like one was race 1 and one was race 4.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
I mean, the 4 was terrible. The 6 had an excuse, clearly.
Yeah.
Like they should have scratched.
50 to 1 exacta. Holy
Yeah,
moly.
well, Turfway.
Interesting. The 5 is really bad, right? Like, I think you said that numerous times already. Not that it was bad, that you were way against, and feels
Yeah,
like
I was very against, especially when they were favored. It was like
Yeah.
the easiest horse to be against is the favorite. It's like you
Yeah.
have shown what you can do. You've
Big
come up short
Royally
at
Sassy finished
a
first.
lower level. It's not a horse I'll ever play. They can win, but they'll
yeah. Do it
never going
without
to be the
you.
horse that I play.
Yeah, I still don't know that I may ever get to Catnip Hill in that race. Like,
Well, yeah. I mean, the four running terrible is probably the most shocking. It's probably
Right.
more like why wasn't that horse forward? Like, yeah. And then Catnip Hill running second was just passing, you know, a tiring 5.
Yep. We're gonna switch. We got 1 minute to Belmont. Oh, I can't show this one. Sorry. Hold on, everybody. That one. Close enough. You like the Saratoga race 9? You said maybe the 7. Is that the one that you were leaning towards?
Sorry, I was reading a comment. Saratoga
Race 9.
Yeah, I thought the 7 made sense. I mean, the 7 looks good on the plot. Has been at least. I mean, I don't love that they've been running B minuses at this level, but at least like in the case of like the 3 who's been running. I mean, look at they're stepping up from maiden 20, made 30,000 on 2 to protected. And yeah, the 7 has come up short at this level. These speed figures are fine. I mean, grades are fine and has been running at the same race par. So at least is like value at 9-1. I feel like there should be somebody else though. Is it the 1? Is it the 1? The 1 makes sense too. Yeah.
Yeah.
What about like 9 and 6? Oh, the 9 is the horse, right? The 9 should be the horse.
The 9 is the horse.
The 9 has a B at this. 9's the horse. 9 has a perfect every other pattern. 2 B's at this level, despite it not being a win. Love it.
Okay.
Sign me up. 17-1. Oh, somebody picked it.
Jonathan. Oh, Richie. Richie picked the 9.
Picked the 9. Yeah, that horse makes sense.
I'm gonna do. Ooh. Maybe I'm not gonna do that much. I played the 7 to win. Do I need to go back and change that? I do.
I mean, the 7's fine. 7's fine too.
Yeah, but getting half the price. Yeah, they're all. Yeah. This one was definitely. You talked about it briefly before Hawthorne ran, but it was the 8 was one to be against. Just nothing about that one makes it one you want to.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. You look at the plot, and it's like it's kind of a downgrade. They're flow-weighted last out. Obviously, dropping into that race on May 3rd was like the right move.
Yeah,
and where it should have run a B.
Yep.
You know, they find class relief of competitive numbers and ran a good race, but I'm short. The trainer of the 7 is the same as the 8, but they've had the 7 the whole time. I'm not familiar with them.
Which one? Sorry.
The trainer of the 7 and the 8. I think it's not a name that I know all that well to know to know how they are like first off the claim, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah. No, I don't know. He owns the 7 though. And just trains the 8. Oh, co-owns.
No, it's part
co-owns
owner,
the 8. Yeah.
part owner of the 8 as well.
We aren't going to give Saratoga the benefit of hearing them. They just get to be shown. That's all they get from us.
7 on the lead. Didn't see that. I mean, I guess it's not that crazy, but
no, but not really what you'd expect, especially with that because they do this one turn like out of the chute,
right?
Which is really don't expect the 7 to get the lead out of that. I played the 7 to win, so I'm okay with it at the moment.
Yeah, no, that's. I mean, yeah, nine's making a move. Can you close at Saratoga? From
you weren't able to yesterday, but
from I mean, they went pretty quick. I think.
Yeah,
46.
I mean, for this level, yeah.
I mean, the 9 made a move, but as of now,
Still,
no one's really
nobody's
really closing.
Yeah. Maybe the 7 just knows that you just get to the lead and nobody catches you if you're halfway.
Yeah, that might have been it.
That is hopefully it. 10 to 1.
The 2 looks like they've got kind of dead aim.
How about the 7? She's got some
Oh, come
grit.
on, 7.
Grit plus.
Come on, 7. Be a square. Be a square. Oh, I like that play. I think I like that race for. Well, we're right on the 8.
Yeah. And
How
I'll
much
tell
does
you
that
that.
pay?
Well, at this point, it's 5-2, but but I mean, you did that earlier today at Hawthorne, where you were like, I like the 4 9 16-1, whatever that one was. I think it was race 2. We are like, I like the 4, so I'm going to play it with a bunch of them, and it worked. Well, I guess it didn't work because the one ended up running second. But like the same idea is in play, where like if you don't like the horse, like you don't like the 8, there's plenty of horses you can play to kind of beat it, because the 8 didn't even make the trifecta, and the
Yeah.
2 actually kind of makes some sense. I mean, 5-2, so not as fun of sense, but
I was pretty negative on the 2 as well.
Okay.
Just in terms of the price, coming out of perfect trips, a lot of red keywords, stepping up in class.
Oh yeah,
But yeah. The
Lots
2
of
is not a
keywords.
horse. I mean, the
Yeah.
2 winning is like not surprising, but it's kind of like I was saying with the 5 in race 4 at Hawthorne. Like they can win, but those
Yeah.
are never the type of horses that I'm gonna land on. Like I'll always have to play against them. And in the long run, I think that's for the best. But in the short term, they will, like we should see here, they will get a win.
Beat you once
But
in a while.
the 7 was still kind of the right play, you know?
Yeah, I mean,
10
got
to
to
1.
thrill all the way to the end. So
Yeah. Yeah, the race was just too long. That's the problem.
yeah, but it definitely still seemed like you can't pass in the.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, because that's what I thought. Like halfway through the race, I saw the 9 that far back. I was like, oh yeah, this isn't a normal. This isn't. At Hawthorne, the 9 is in with a huge shot. But we aren't at Hawthorne.
No,
We're at a place that you can't do that at. That's why we're going back to when we were talking about Belmont Stakes, the Belmont at Saratoga Stakes. It could be tough. Golden Tempo, I'd have their work cut out for them if that's the case.
Renegade may also, because I think
Renegade may also. But like you said, to your point, they might try to be a little bit closer.
But they may not
maybe
be
they
able
can't
to.
be.
I mean, they. As much as I'd like to believe the Arkansas Derby, Irad put Renegade where he wanted him. He was also last. So it wasn't like he put him 4th and was like, yeah, let's get here. He's like, no, we're just going to go to the back and we're going to go around all of them. And he was able to do it because that group wasn't the greatest, but I don't know that he's going to be able to just be like 3rd or 4th right off the lead. I think there's going to be some pace setup, and as much as Rapoli's claiming there's not a rabbit in the race, there's a rabbit in the race. So I think there is a little bit of maybe they're going to try and get that to go faster, but it may not be enough to do it.
Yeah.
It may not matter.
And also when we looked at it too, it's like there really wasn't that much speed.
Yeah.
I mean, even if you try to send, it's kind of like we saw here with that 3 early on. It's like if you don't send, then it just keeps the closers closer.
Yep.
And then they can outkick you when it's time to outkick. So
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. We
Race
got
5?
Yeah, we got 15 minutes, so we got some time to talk about this one. It's
Okay.
we already
how are
went
we
over
doing at
this.
Churchill
Yeah.
too? What's the story there?
Yeah, it's if you want, we can look at it, but it's a race that I had no opinion in. So
How many minutes are we?
7, and we've already kind of looked at the Hawthorne race on top of that. So just
Let me just look at it real
Yeah.
quick. I mean, is there kind of an interesting horse in there?
in Churchill,
Yeah.
I'm sure, but not that I'm gonna find. There was a lot of horses that all looked kind of interesting, and none that I was like, ooh, I'm interested in betting that one. So
What about the 6?
let me see. Let me find my. I have to put it on the big screen because it's too small. I zoomed in too much. Oh, the 6. Look at the
Second
6
time
and-
starter, class
Okay.
drop, had subtle excuse on debut.
See, again, my bias is I see a big circle in Q4. I'm like, no, thank you. But
Just
and
one
13
race sample.
That's the problem, is that I take that one race and say that's all it's going to do.
No.
Yeah, this is why you're way better at this than I am.
That Churchill race kind of, that Oaklawn race kind of stunk. I mean, the winner was really good and was okay taking on winners, but everything else. Yeah, I mean, the 6 is kind of the only interesting horse, but it's not. It's still a bit of a stab. I will say, like, Run Moquette horses, I don't think ran that well at Oaklawn Park. They were running much better at Churchill. But yeah,
like,
it's not that interesting. I do want, like,
and the
I do
3
kind
is
of
the
want to watch
favorite.
it. It's interesting, but I don't think I'm going to play it. I'm more interested in this race at Hawthorne, I think.
The 3 just isn't interesting either. Like, it's a Wesley Ward, so it's taking money, but it's like it moved from all weather to turf, and now they're on the dirt, right? Isn't this a dirt race? So, like,
And they're
we do?
dropping. There's a lot of desperation moves.
Right, and maybe
Yeah.
that's what's going to be enough just to win because it's going to beat a bunch of bad horses. But yeah, so we got 5 minutes on that. I'll put that on my screen over here, and I'll throw it up when it comes. Like when they are getting close, we'll watch it. But I think that's the handicapping we'll do of that race because I'm in the same boat of like, yeah, you can make a case for all sorts of goofy things to happen there, and I kind of believe you, but I don't know that I want to bet anything on it.
Yeah.
We did talk somewhat about this race 5.
I mean, I have, the 2 is in the pick 4, so I don't have to really like go out and play the 2, and I certainly wouldn't at 2-1, but
Yeah,
that horse made sense to me. Again, keying off the one race that is under similar conditions back in September. That race seems like it would fit, should get a good trip based on the 1 having some speed, the 3 having some speed. The 6, maybe. I guess it depends. It's hard to say. And same thing with the 7. They kind of have more. 7 at least has more sprint speed.
right.
The 8 has sprint speed as well. Again, quality, maybe not the same,
Questionable,
but
yeah.
yeah.
You talked me onto the 7 in a. I don't know that I'm gonna bet the 7 though at 6-1 or what's it gonna look like? 6, 7, 8, 7. I don't know the 7 getting to the lead and just kind of going, and none of this group wanting to pass kind of feels like a real possibility. I mean, the 1 is probably on the lead, I guess, is my biggest concern will the 7 just keep running even when the 1 gets tired? But at 6-1, it's probably worth finding out. 7-1 worth finding out.
Yeah, I mean that's what was kind of interesting about the 7 is, and maybe they don't need the lead because it is cutting back to 5 furlongs, and they just, at least I think they could have some options. But even if you just look at the turf races alone, those speed figures stand out so much more than the dirt numbers.
Yeah.
So that just shows right there, it's more of a turf horse. Then it's kind of the same thing talking about like the 2, like, okay, of those turf races, there's been 5 of them. 4 of them were in maiden special weight company. They're not quite allowance type horse. And even the race on May 21st, around 2 turns, you'll look at it and be like, okay, 12-5, whatever. But it's open 12-5. Open is very different than non-winners of 2. Even the purse, right? The purse is 15,000. People have to be like, notice that type of stuff when they're handicapping, because this is a class drop. Even though it's a higher claiming tag, it's a class drop. Like the purse is higher for open 12-5 than it is for claiming 15.
Yeah, interesting.
Right? Because that open 12 could have a horse that's won 15 times, 20 times.
Yep.
In there are horses that know how to win. This is a race where
nobody knows how to win.
No one really does it. No one really does the winning bit. So yeah.
I mean, the 3 at least is not in the last couple of races, but at Hawthorne has been hitting the board often enough that feels like, well, the rest of them don't want to win, so maybe I'll just keep going. The 3 have any chance? Like, do the 3 just find like the weakest field he's ever ran against and then won?
And a hot barn.
Okay.
and kind of ran a new top. I think they're gonna run. They're
Yeah.
gonna run the same race. I
Okay.
think they're gonna run the same race, and maybe it's good enough. But again, I think the 1 is gonna go. 3 obviously has speed, and then those 2,
Yeah.
the 8 on the outside should go as well. I don't know
Yeah.
what other choice they have. So there should be a contentious pace, and horses like the 7, the 6, and the 7 have a good. Those 2 horses being on the lead wouldn't surprise me either, because maybe they're just better,
Yeah.
and that
That
puts them on the lead.
that's sort of where the
And that's
2
kind of where I landed on the trip with the 2. Is just
Yep.
sort of like, okay, save ground,
Yep.
be at
And
the
just-
right level,
Yeah,
be at
just
the
keep
right
running,
condition,
yeah.
just get the right everything.
Yep. And it certainly
But
feels like it's in that spot where
yeah.
yeah.
So we'll watch this Churchill race with deep interest.
Deep interest. That Ward horse is even money at the moment, which is just wild.
Oh, and then a 16 furlong race at Saratoga. Are you
Yeah.
kidding me? Do you still have some of your snacks left?
Oh, yeah.
That's a race where you need some snacks.
Got drinks, got snacks. I'm all set.
Oh my God. Okay, so the 6 is just bad. The 6 is just is a quadrant 4 square, circle,
Yes.
just for life.
Yeah. A 30K, I'm gonna give him a chance to go run at Oaklawn or at Turfway for 5, and then we'll talk about it.
The 7 looked like they were getting the right trip, and then
They
just
did.
came to a stop. See if the 4 gets up at 8-1. Makes it a little spicy.
That 3 is really bad.
Yeah.
I always forget that I'm showing other people. I should make it big enough for people to actually see it, huh?
Well, the
Okay.
4 was definitely the value. Holy cow.
Wow.
I mean,
Yeah.
just looking at the plot, I mean, it's no different than the 7 and the 5.
Seriously.
So those horses and even the 3. That's wild. So that's why, some of these races, to handicap them in real time to assess, you're like, wait, why is this horse that?
Yeah.
These other ones, maybe it's a sign, but anyways. All right. What? Hawthorne?
Yeah. 5 minutes to post at Hawthorne. They're still in the paddock, so we got some time. And
Okay.
we've talked about this race enough, so I don't know that we need to do a whole lot more on it. But you're still alive in the pick 4, so you're probably not playing it.
Yeah. I have the 2, which I think is the right play here, because they're maybe unbettable any other way. So yeah.
The 2 and the 6 will end up being pretty comparable. And the 6 is the big favorite in the pick 4.
Yeah, exactly.
And the pick 5.
Yeah.
But
Again, they could do it.
Yeah.
But I mean, I might end up playing the 7 because I only have the 2 in the pick 4, and if the 7 is the right number when it's all said and done. What is the right number, though? What do you think on that front?
So
I don't know if it's 6. I don't know if 6 to 1
I don't know if
is
it's
it.
6. Yeah.
I might just let myself lose.
Yeah, I think it's probably a little bit higher than 6,
Mm.
but I guess my main concern with the 7 is that it did just break its maiden 2 back and then came back and was 41-1 and ran 5th.
Again, that open.
Well, for
much
sure.
tougher. And
Much
a
tougher.
worse, no offense, but better jockey today.
And
I'll
so
take Frank Reyes over Angel Stanley all day long. That is massive improvement.
So maybe that's why it's gonna stick at that 6-1, and maybe that makes it worth it. Like,
Okay.
I don't know the jockeys enough anywhere to have an opinion, so I definitely don't know. But if you're that adamant about it, then I would say then maybe is this the? I don't know that this is the right race. Like going 5.5, I don't know if that's the right thing for this horse. But
It's a really tough raid because the 2 times that they've done it, one has like a gallop plus and stretch. The other time was dual.
right. So I don't know.
I don't know either.
I don't hate 6-1 ever though. I mean, when it all comes like what you're talking about in terms of like a saver for your pick 4, maybe it's worth it in that case. But 6-1 is 6-1, and probably
Yeah, because I
higher
was
than
like,
that.
I was gonna include it, and I'm like, I don't want that many horses on the ticket.
Yeah.
But I could have played. It's hard to do a lot of things at once.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely would have like played this started that pick 4
Better.
differently,
Yeah.
and then had the 7 covered as well. But now it's 4-1, so this could make a very easy decision for me.
Yeah.
If this horse stays at 4-1, because I'll let it ride at that point.
Yeah. I see what you did there. That was good.
Yeah, I did a floor punch reference.
Yeah, I mean the 7's very clear third choice. I don't know. I don't pay enough attention to the will pays at Hawthorne because like normally when I play, I'll just like fire a couple small win bets because it's fun.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't really like pay that close of attention to the price. It's just like, yeah, I'll bet the favorite for whatever because it's $20 and I'm happy to bet $20 at Hawthorne anytime. But now that we're like really doing it for like a real thing, it's like, yeah, maybe 6-1 isn't the price, but I think I'd bet the 2 at 7-2. I think it would be what I would do. Not you because you already have it, but if it stays somewhere close, like I don't think it's going to stay this far apart, right? Even money for 7-2, like it feels like the 2 is going to get much closer. 2-1, 5-2 type, 9-5, 2-1 maybe. That seems more likely, honestly.
And did you look at what were your thoughts on race 6?
It was the 4 is I don't know. Is the 4 as good as it looks like it's gonna be? Am I looking at the right race?
Are they gonna take too much pressure with the 5 and the 7?
And they're going, how far are they going?
And maybe even the 3?
Maybe.
But yeah, maybe the 4 is just too good.
But not getting bet like it's too good. At least not in the double pool. I mean, the 1, the 2, the 4, and the 7 are all getting bet kind of similarly in the double. So, I'm sure that'll change in the next 45 seconds or so. But
I'll mess around with a 7-2 double.
Mm-hmm.
Just have coverage that way. And
there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if the 4 does take pressure, and that would make a lot of sense in this next race, the 1, the 2 kind of closing does kind of make some sense. And the 2, 1 off that layoff.
The 2, I feel like I don't know if this is like one of those like mental things, but I feel like I've been chasing And she's run well in both those races, but
Right.
it's always just been like the 5.5 furlongs. Like if either of
Mhm.
those races were at 6, that probably would have helped. And then also if there was any more pace in either of those races, that would have helped too. And
Getting
it's
both
like,
of those.
okay, now you're getting 6. Now
Yep.
you're getting pace to chase.
Yep.
What's the problem?
Yeah.
You're supposed to
Now
win.
what's the excuse? Yeah.
Yeah. But
And-
then you're like, okay, well then the 4 could still wire this field.
Yeah, but I mean, I think the 4 is going to get enough pressure that if the 2 is decent, which seems to be, like the 2 seems to be decent enough for the level, that should
at
be
the
able to
right level
close,
for their abilities. Yeah.
right? Which is what they're doing here. And like you said, going longer does certainly feel like not a bad thing.
Yeah, and I mean that with the 1, they could get the similar trip as well, but it was kind of like I just wonder if the 1 would need a race
Yeah.
and kind of like race into shape, and then it's like, okay, you're a closer at the rail. Are you going to get too far back? Does that help the 2 to kind of get first run?
Yeah.
Things like things like
Yep,
that. But yeah, I mean
absolutely.
the one could certainly win as well.
The 2 is, I mean, the 7-1 is $24. The 7-2 is $27. So you're getting $3 extra bucks on your 2. So
3
we're
extra
definitely worth it.
bucks. That's a
And
half
the
a
full-
tank of gas. Or a full tank of gas wherever you're buying.
A gallon.
I mean,
of
not gas, gallon.
Yes,
Sorry.
yes,
Not,
yes, yes.
Yeah, not tank, gallon of gas.
Yes,
Half
yes.
gallon of gas. Sorry, this isn't. This is in 1999. We could fill our cars up for $5. I remember that when I moved to Virginia in 2000 or 99, 2000. It was literally 99 cents a gallon.
Yeah.
And I'd been living in California, and I was like, oh my God, I'm going to buy my car like the nice stuff out here. Do you want sound?
Yes.
With Adios right there, and then on the
Don't you think
outside,
Peter is such a good race caller?
they
Yes.
attack
He's
towards
like the best.
the
I
Argonauts.
mean, Jason Beam. It's a dead heat, but
Yeah, no.
Really on
Jason
the
Beam's a
outside,
distant
in the
behind
back of the
him.
pack looking
Jason's
for
the
a
best
racer who gives
podcaster
me
that
one
calls
more
races.
time. Moving
okay.
outside for
But he's
Rose.
still a homie, so
Yeah. I mean,
Around the turn, they're
he
in
would-
the
he would
stretch.
agree with us, though.
Isabella's Beauty. Here's Wildwood Adios moving up the challenge toward the inside. Daisy May attack coming
I think
through.
my handicapping was pretty terrible here.
Tis Me one more time coming on. Inside the final eight,
Not
Wildwood Adios
soon
now.
enough.
Way. Isabella
7 was just too plotty, and the 2 had too much to do.
Well,
Game
yeah,
over.
too much to
GG's.
do.
Martin. Daisy May attack along the rail.
Ugh.
Wildwood Adios.
Hmm.
Tight photo per second between Tis Me one more time. Daisy May attack. Isabella's Beauty was fourth.
It was a little bit of a fault in the handicapping. I gotta go back and like watch what happened in there, but like, didn't we project? Yeah, 2 was dead already. I know, busted. Projected, like, was the 3 forward? Thought the 3 would be a little bit more forward.
There was one between the 2 and the 7. I don't know which one it was.
Well, the 2 was off the pace, so it couldn't have been that.
At the end there, sorry. The 2 and the 7
Oh.
came, whichever one was
the
like
one,
that.
the one was forward.
Yeah, no, the 3's at the back.
Yeah, so that was part of the handicapping, right? It was like expecting the 3 and the 8 to be up close to the pace,
Right.
and then maybe the 6 and the 7 would be there as well, but that didn't materialize, and the 6 just
No.
got the trip.
Yeah.
2 got a bad start, kind of to be expected, but
Yeah,
well.
that's 6. Yeah. I
That's the way it
was
goes.
with you. Yeah, I was with you on that 6 being like, yeah, fine, but not with my money. And there you have it, right? I mean, that happens.
Yeah. All right, where are we going next?
I don't
Saratoga?
know. Yeah,
16
Saratoga's.
In
Yeah,
today's fifth race, 6 Wild.
it's 15 minutes to Churchill and 7 to Saratoga. So we'll do Saratoga. Oh, I can't
Okay.
show this one. Turn that one off.
It's a graded stakes race, Belmont Gold Cup, 16 furlongs on the inner course. Can you say that on? Are you allowed to say that?
Inner? Yeah. Oh, yes. I'm so dumb. Forgot that I hang out with a 12-year-old. So the 7 is just like the best here, right? Like, what are we doing? What are we talking about?
Corruption?
Yeah. I mean, I looked at this race. I looked at the plot. I said, all right, give me the 7. Am I just way wrong?
I have no idea. I mean, I think like you with the plot going 16 furlongs, I think you kind of have to maybe do a deeper examination. Because you figure like the 7 is going to try to wire this field?
Mm-hmm. I
What's
started
this?
my snacks and I thought you were talking. So I'm going to have to try to figure that one out.
What's the... But I mean, there could be, I don't know. That's where it's tough, right? Like maybe, but it kind of looks like the 2 has early speed if they want. I mean, 16 furlongs. This race is
so much fun. You love it.
This should not be a wagering event.
So yesterday they
I
had.
feel like you should be allowed to bet on anything but this.
Yesterday did the first race was yesterday. Yeah, they did like 2 and a 16th mile with the steeplechase.
Yeah.
And out of the gate, a jockey fell off, and there was a horse just running out all by itself.
Yeah.
And in the middle of the race, like the third time they're going around, the outrider comes out and like tries to get the horse but can't, and then like realizes he's in the race, so he's like, "Oh crap, what am I going to do?" Like then gets the horse and like goes way out to the outside, and then as he's doing that, another jockey falls off as the horse like goes over the steeple. Like he just falls down and he looks like he's dead because he's on a steeple. Like they're jumping horses and they're falling and just like, what is happening? And then at the end, as they're going around the 8th time, there's like a huge close. It's just like, wait, this became a really good race.
Oh my god, dude. This sounds like it just sounds like every steeplechase race that's ever been run in like the history of steeplechase. It's just like,
and people
like madness, and then like
mad finish
across the wire.
Yeah. What? Do people like? I can't imagine people bet it that much because like people don't bet thoroughbreds that much. So there's no way there's like this huge market for it, right? But like they have meets. They have like I know there's like a big thing in South Carolina or something. I don't know. It was weird.
I just made my eyes water and I'm wearing mascara. Oh my God, I'm a mess.
I'm going to filter the grid into one's going this distance category, which is a marathon, to see if any of them even ran a marathon. Because like that's like I guess where to even start with this.
I guess.
But
then you have. I mean, speaking of steeplechase, and you have some jumpy horses in here, right? Like
probably.
The 8?
Yeah. So is it easier to run around in a circle without jumping? Probably. Right? Like
you have to carry more weight when you're jumping. Right? Aren't those jockeys like 130?
With 155 last time you
155, yeah, exactly. It's like a major weight break.
Also somehow was in a maiden race after. I don't understand how steeplechase works.
Yeah, they're like, we don't count anything that's like a real horse race.
But it wasn't. It was at Fairhill. And it was a stakes race and it won. And then it came back in a maiden race. What? I don't know. Never mind.
Wait,
doesn't matter.
what? I'm seeing it the other way around. I'm seeing that it was in the maiden race on May 2nd and then won the Fairhill race on May 25th.
Okay. Maybe this is backwards.
I think, the filter just didn't have it in the right order.
Yeah.
Right? Because they ran in the maiden race and then broke their maiden jumping in the allowance, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, wait, no. I see what's that?
This one here. Yeah, this one. And Fairhill is...
No, Fairhill is FAI.
Oh, what's FH?
What's FH?
I don't know. No idea. Oh,
Yeah, I
well.
don't know. I don't
I
know.
don't know.
Yeah, I don't know how
Okay.
it works either.
I don't even know like if I want to trust the figures. Well, I guess I do because they aren't jumping over things
That
this
couldn't have
time.
been a jump race because we have a speed figure for it.
Okay. So
S-
FH
so-
is just something. Maybe it's in Ireland because it was running in Ireland.
Maybe.
It's the John Forbes Memorial Stakes presented by Monmouth Park, but I don't know where it was ran. But it wasn't
right.
a jump race. Yeah,
It
so
wasn't
anyways,
that.
it
Yeah,
was
that
not.
much is clear. Once I see a speed
Yeah.
figure, it's like, okay, so that's a flat race.
Okay.
Fine. But that race would probably win this, right?
Yeah, probably. Far Hills is what Matt's saying.
Far Hills. Okay, that makes sense. I've heard of that.
It's not in Hong Kong, so I don't know that I trust him though.
I mean, even the other two races, the Grade 2 Red Smith and the Elkhorn, are kind of okay, given the fact that they ran at Aqueduct just 2 weeks after winning at Far Hills, we'll call it,
Yeah.
and was against the flow, and then had a layoff that followed, and then the layoff was that raining during the race, dominant 8-5. So either those two races can be kind of excused, I guess. All right, the chat is coming through. It's Far Hills for sure. We got New Jersey representing or somewhere in that area representing. So,
and it's a one-day meet or something of that nature. So there you go.
Churchill. Like we have a comment about Churchill.
It's still.
What is fijo? Something easy. What is fijo in Spanish?
I don't know.
Chat.
I can't even copy it. Yeah. Anyways, corruption just wins this race. Like I know he hasn't gone 16 furlongs, but like none of them have really gone 16 furlongs, and the ones that have did it Far Hill, which apparently Worthington was also in that race. There's just none of these horses. Like they all want to go long because it's kind of like all they have left, and like none. Like Tawny Port used to be halfway decent, but like even then was like 2023 still was losing races. So why now all of a sudden is he gonna win this race?
And yeah, normally like the angle would be like, oh, Pratt's getting aboard, and probably Tawny Port's two worst races are the two races with Pratt aboard. He got beat by 81 lengths in this race last year, and then the other time with Pratt got beat 64 lengths in the Ben Ali.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Tawny Port's won $2.1 million. So he's, accomplished some things, but it's been some time. He ran 7th in the Derby in 2022.
I can't. He's too short to play, right?
Yeah,
I mean, that's the bottom line. In a race like this.
In a race this long, can't be short.
Yeah. What about the one? Can we get California representing? I mean, you didn't come all the way across the country to run 16 furlongs for nothing. There's no 16 furlong races out in California, that's for sure.
Yeah, but lost to Gold Phoenix. And if you're losing to Gold Phoenix in 2026, I don't know that I would trust you to do anything at this point.
True.
But I mean, maybe they get to the lead. Like, is Irad going to send it to the lead?
Well, if he does, then I don't think that goes well for the 7 either, right?
Yeah, this race is dumb. Like, I don't understand. How about the 4? Because I'm just going to copy David Aragona now and see what he says as they walk to the post.
Yeah, I can't. I mean,
no, thank you.
That seems like the least likely. So maybe that's why you would pick it. Because I could see the least likely horse winning this race.
But I see the time form figures and the optics figures are very, very different. The time form figures make it playable enough.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna let's go with this 8.
Okay.
2 for 2 on the inner.
IRAD. So.
Who is that? The 4 is 2 for 2. Oh, okay.
No.
I see.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. But maiden 40. I guess this could be like a 40,000.
Is there somebody in my
On the
house?
4, yeah. Yeah.
So we are behind, so hopefully you got your bets in because YouTube is slow.
Yeah. We got 16 minutes to race 6, and then anything Churchill-ish.
Yeah, we'll look at Churchill next. So I'm going to make us off the screen so I can finish this bite.
Okay. Sounds good.
Oh, I'm going
A leader from Worthington and out 3 wide Corruption. Tawny Port just behind those, followed by Concord Green. Next in the field out deeper is Fleet Foot, who is 3rd last to the back section. Mr. Tonic 2nd last, and at the end is Flashiest along the rails. Worthington took it up, heading towards the back section for the first time. Worthington the leader by 2 lengths. Second is Corruption, nice and close the favourite. A length and 3/4 Navy Seal, 3rd the fence from Concord Green, who's over racing as they head halfway between turns. Next in the field is Fleet Foot, a 2-time winner over 2 miles, is 5th out 3 wide. Tawny Port next, then came Mr. Tonic, and Flashiest is at the tail of the field. So Worthington, the front runner, comes off the back section with a long way to go in the Belmont Gold Cup at Grade 2 level. Worthington, the front runner. Corruption is 2nd, and 2 further back in the field. In 3rd, along the inside, Navy Seal. Concord Green is next, settling a little bit better, and Fleet Foot is always wide. Mr. Tonic is behind them, Tawny Port 2nd last, and Flashiest is at the end of the field. So they come down the stretch. There's a mile to go in the Belmont Gold Cup, and so much to play for here at Saratoga. And the leader is Worthington from getting a little bit closer, Corruption. Fleet Foot is also inching closer 3 wide. There is 1 lap to go. They were followed by Navy Seal and Concord Green, 5th one off the fence. Tawny Port is 3rd last, then Mr. Tonic, and last is Flashiest. So they sweep out of the stretch once again. They've got 6 furlongs to go. And now going to the lead is Corruption as Worthington's getting a little bit tired. And Corruption, has it got to the front too early? It leads by about 3/4 of a length towards the back stretch. In second is Fleet Foot, then Navy Seal, who got to 3rd. Concord Green, the outside, got to 4th. And they were followed by Tawny Port. Worthington next, passed by Mr. Tonic, and Flashiest is at the back of the field. 5 furlongs left to go. It is the survival of the fittest, the Belmont Gold Cup, and a golden ticket to the Lexus Melbourne Cup. And the leader is Corruption by a length to Fleet Foot. Navy Seal's getting closer, and so too Tawny Port along the rails. Mr. Tonic is weaving up to 5th, and they were followed by Flashiest, who's starting to make a move in the black jacket now. Half a mile to go, and the race is really dialing up, where the leader is Corruption, grabbed by Navy Seal. Navy Seal has gone to the lead. Mr. Tonic is running on, and so too Flashiest. Tawny Port behind those horses, 2 furlongs to go. They straighten. Navy Seal in front from Mr. Tonic. Tawny Port back towards the inside now. They've got just over a furlong to go. Navy Seal with Tawny Port up on the inside. Tawny Port goes to the lead from Navy Seal, Mr. Tonic, and back behind those was Flashiest. But it's Tawny Port coming away from the Big Apple to possibly the big dance at Flemington. Tawny Port wins it. Navy Seal 2nd, Mr. Tonic 3rd, Flashiest 4th.
That race was way too long.
Way too long. Way too long. And we handicapped it, which made it even longer, which is crazy. Yeah, I mean, Tawny Port, as you mentioned, like had the back class, but as Slow and Steady mentions here, I mean, that's a rough bet at 2-1.
Yeah.
I feel like you can find a lot better 2-1s and not spend 6 minutes waiting for it.
And I didn't realize when he had said that it was the right coast on the announcer, I thought he was talking about Frank Miramati because Frank Miramati's there, and he said right coast. I was like, well, I think he means left coast, and in reality, it was some guy from Ireland, or I don't know.
Okay.
Where was that guy from? Got to be Ireland. That's he wins a race to that race or something. I don't know how it works. Far Hills. That's a place apparently. I learned that today also.
Yeah.
So, learning a lot today.
There's some interesting rides in there for sure.
Yeah. And there's one race left at Saratoga. If we want to look at that one next, we will.
Okay. We
maybe
got
do
two.
that.
We got 2 left at Hawthorne, 1 left at Saratoga, and a lot left at Churchill. But we're not going to hang out for all
Yeah.
of that. I don't really have an opinion here at Churchill because I would be looking at some of the first time starters in here, and I haven't done enough work on the first time starters to try to figure out which one.
Yep. There's a lot of. I mean, there's.
Actually, the 9 is okay, right? Maybe of the horses that have run and messed with the 9, who is a second time starter.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I'd be looking at the first time starters.
Yeah. I mean, the 8's
slog no push close is like a pretty good note.
Okay.
Right? Break slow and then you close without being asked is pretty. All right.
What you'd want to see on a horse like that, and
on a first time starter, at least shows that they have some run.
Something,
I mean, especially looking at the other horses that have run, it's not like that number 9 Marceline has to get that much faster to be on the level of those other horses,
right?
Who have had their chances to run to do what they need to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the 8 is first off a layoff. It was, been bet a couple of times, and it's a maker with Saya's up. It kind of feels like the one that's obviously going to take some money.
Yeah, it's going to take money, but even going back to the 5.5 at Ellis, that's a stretch, and then they've gone a little bit longer in those races. And today is a little bit shorter, so there's some reasons to be kind of skeptical on that horse at a short number. Anyways, the first time starters are 2, 3, 5, 7. So we'll see.
We'll see if your 9 can actually close.
And we'll see if the 9 of the horses that have run being like the most interesting.
Was slog again.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Creatures of habit until proven otherwise. Well, the 8 got beat. The 9 is closing.
Wow, 9 is making a bit of a move.
And then the 5 is the first time starter that's going to get the win. Almost, maybe. Nope. The 6 is going to hold the other second time starter. Yeah. The 9 was definitely of the horses that hadn't of the horses that had run that you wanted to give a look to. But
and at 24-1, you don't feel.
And at 24-1, yeah.
Yeah, definitely a race that that was one of those races that, because we were looking at like the first 4 or so there. I'm like, nope. Like the first 3 just had nothing that I wanted to even look at. Like the 4th race is fine, but it's scratched down to 4 horses, so I'm okay without that one also. So
yeah.
So we'll go back.
Yeah,
to
I mean the 8. I just didn't want that horse at a short number.
And that was proven very, very accurate.
Yeah.
So late daily double time at Hawthorne.
Ooh, let's get after it.
This race is, I hate betting favorites in 5K claimers. I just always feel like they aren't going to do the same thing again. And if they do, like, fine. But like the 4 is, if he does what she's been doing, like, doesn't she lose this race? I don't understand. Is there something about this 4 that I'm missing that makes her so heavily bet? Is the rest of this group just that bad?
Yeah, I mean, the 4 is probably the most likely. We kind of talked about it before in terms of being like the speed of the speed, but there is that question mark of you could still have to earn it.
Yeah.
Now, we have seen in some of these races today, like we've thought the pace was going to be A, and then it turns out to be B, and then the horse that got away on the front end. That's happened twice, right? With the 5 in race 2, and then the 6 in that last race. So the 4 could trip out from that standpoint. But if they do take pace pressure,
Which, yeah, I remember I was talking about this race. So yeah, I stand by the 4 isn't that good, and the 4 like I understand why, like what you're saying and why it's getting bet. I'm now remembering why, and I didn't think it would be that short of a price. And looking at the double, and let me double check that I'm not missing something. This will pay, like it can't lose. I guess not can't lose, but it's pretty heavily bet.
yeah.
And
I mean, it does seem like it would be, it would be the right spot, right? It's kind of a similar pattern to last year. They ran for 12.5, not on that level. They dropped to 5,000, clears the non-winners at 2, then they step up again. It's like not on that level, then, need some time off. So they kind of do the same thing. They come back at the 12.5, prep, stretch, doesn't get the stretch, does get the prep, does get the drop, did duel that day, should be fit. All those things, all those things like make perfect sense. Just a little bit softer race par today, a little more fitness, back numbers, definitely there.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, and then maybe I'm reaching, maybe in terms of the 2. Like I said,
choose
maybe
a very clear second choice, though. So I think you're exactly right with it.
Yeah, but the 2 also does need to get that trip, right?
Yeah.
Does need the 4 to get pace pressure in order to get that trip.
In looking at the plot, it certainly feels like it's going to. The Sun Contention and Speed Rate are not, neither one make you think there's going to be a lot of collapsing pace here, but the way they're bunched and like the way that the, I think it was a 3.
Well, I think what is good in this case is the 7 being outside and dropping in class. They're gonna send.
I'm at Saratoga. Sorry.
Okay.
I was
The
like,
7
wait.
the 7 is gonna the 7 is gonna send. So that is good. So at least we'll know that the 4 is going to take pace pressure from, and then you got to go one race in. Is going to take pace pressure from at least the 7. The 5, I don't know what they're gonna do.
Yeah, but recently been like lone and
Lone going longer though.
Oh,
but did duel 2 back sprinting. That's why I'm like, I don't know what they're gonna do. I don't know if they even know. I think they are gonna be forward, right? They just kind of always are.
Yeah.
Regardless.
Yeah, it certainly feels like they don't have to, but if you don't, like, what do you like? How do you expect this horse to win otherwise? Like the way that
or
it
be
seems
competitive,
right?
Yeah, like yeah,
it feels like it needs to, at the very least, needs to be close, and so it may not like cause a huge pace, but also probably going to cause the pace to be at least somewhat fast.
Okay, all right. I'm liking where this is going. And then what about the 6? I mean, the 6 is kind of another one that. Are they only route speed? No, they've shown sprint speed before. Like, what do they do with the 6?
I always feel like if you're at this, a 5K claimer, you should always want the lead unless you've proven your horse can close. Right? Like, because it's in like the 2's proven that it at least can pass horses. So like I'm okay with the 2 being off the lead, but like the 6 has never proven it can. Like it has 2 wins and 17 starts. Like it hasn't really proven anything other than it's capable of running around in a circle somewhat slowly. So like, wouldn't you want to get the lead?
And those 2 races that they were competitive, they're forward. Yeah.
Yeah. Where it had the, a perfect trip when it won that 5K claimer last year. And then, I mean, halfway decent in this April race last year. got a B plus. Yeah, that seems to make sense, right? That's 2 wins are at 5.5 on the dirt, forwardly placed. Want to be forwardly placed. Or you would
Okay.
guess.
So what about the 3? Is the 3 even more speed?
Wrong button.
Because I kind of feel like the 3 is like you almost say the same thing as the 6, right? Just like,
Yeah.
do they kind of have to be forward just because that's the only way that they've ever been? I shouldn't say that, because on the turf they did come from off the pace, but that's, you can close from off the pace on the turf. It's a different
Right.
monster.
They,
But like, yeah, on the dirt, I think they kind of need to be forward.
I mean, broke their maiden in 24 at Delmar in a maiden claimer going a mile. And their other one's a mile at Hawthorne. So maybe don't need the lead, but certainly don't seem like they pass anybody. Like lots of just in 7th, run 7th. In, in 1st, get passed. In 7th, pass somebody, but lose by 32. So he doesn't feel like it's one that like does a lot of passing.
Yeah.
But in this, in this race, a fast, very fast setup, which maybe they get that here. They ran 2nd turf race, but I don't know. Seems like a lot of pace, and I'm at 3 to 5 on the 4. No, thank you. Which should float up, but I don't know how much.
So now the question is the 2 just like is this 2 a straight play? And do we need to assess the 1 a little bit more? I feel like I kind of just wrote off the 1 being like, oh, they're going to be short and they're going to need a race and they're going to need a trip. And maybe that's true, but maybe they can win at the same time.
Yeah. I mean, we've poked enough holes in everybody else.
Exactly.
How does it do off of layoff? Not had a layoff?
It's like ran okay off the layoff last year, but then got kind of better with racing.
Yeah.
And at Canterbury, seemed like they got a little bit better at Canterbury, and then came back at Hawthorne once they had to.
Yeah, maybe they're okay off the layoff, and maybe against this group, it's maybe the group to come back off the layoff with. Maybe, but like you were saying, like the middle, like those Hawthorne races it had to end the year last year were good.
Yeah, those compete here. But those are also races where the horse was outside, had an outside draw, right? Had racing at that time, had conditioning. It's just like there's so many things that are different this time around. You have the rail, you have the time away, but could still get the right trip.
Yeah.
I mean, also too, like Israel Hernandez was aboard for those good races last year, and Israel Hernandez is on the 2. So you'd also kind of think like if they were super live that Israel Hernandez would show up here.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. At least you would assume he had a choice between the 1 and the 2 and chose the 2 would be the way that I would think about it.
That's what I would think. I mean, just, because if the 1's coming back off the layoff live, they're going to be like, let's go to the guy that like does good with this horse.
Yeah.
Let's like call them and, see if they're around. Or let's call them anyways and like, okay, we're going to need a race. Like, oh, well, I have another mount that's live. Okay, well, cool. We'll see you next time.
Right.
I also wanted to see if the 3 took the front wraps off, but I haven't been able to get a look at them. Oh, there they are. I think they're off. They did take the front wraps off the 3, so that's a positive. Because, I mean, the 3 has some of the fastest races in this field. They're buried, but they're there.
Right. I was looking, I was like, what are you talking about, Emily? But then you go...
You go back.
Yeah, and then some
deep.
more, and then next year and 23, 24. Yeah, but at like 50K at Del Mar, like that's not a terrible level. 15K at not at Turfway, but yeah, they had a couple at Turfway that were okay.
Yeah.
And haven't really been that bad at Hawthorne the last couple years. The last few races have been bad, but maybe it's a third off the layoff as a 6-year-old. Maybe, she's just needs to get some races into her before she starts running.
All right, let's get this double in. Let's use the 2. Let's use the 3 to get spicy.
Who are you playing in the last?
Combinations of 3, 4, 5, 6, and not feeling confident leaving off 1, 2, or 7. That's a tough race.
Yeah.
That last one.
Oh, get some sound in here.
I mean, this one needs luck too. This double should pay good because it doesn't seem easy
Yeah.
by any means. Well, the 7 went, and then the 4 rated.
Racing 4 wide.
They're all kind of trying to rate a little bit.
And the one's way
One's
closer than I
much
would've-
closer
Yeah.
than expected, but
Less than a half mile to go. It's Illy Syme, the leader, up on the outside. Sky Raven moving quickly.
the 75 to 1 shot wins this.
Sharp Attack is third. Kind Kismet fourth. It's a gap to find. She stopped short. Annie's Hope and trailing the field. 2-timer. They move to the
I mean, the
top.
4 looks like they've got good
Yeah.
position and run.
And have
Sharp
horse,
Attack,
it looks
Illy
like.
Syme's trying to fight back. She stopped short as fourth. They come and make that in fourth as Kind Kismet. She stopped short fifth, less than 3/16 ago. Sharp Attack is taking the lead, draws away by 2. Illy Syme's fighting back
Yeah.
second. Sky Raven retreating. And then it's Kind Kismet, and
Yeah.
she stopped short, coming down to the wire.
Had to take a swing, but
The battle will be
best horse is gonna
5.
yeah.
Apparently.
From the start. Yeah, I mean, in this case, it was kind of somewhat expected. The 2 was going to come from off the pace, but you needed racing luck in there. None of
And you
this
got,
didn't happen.
we got the pace that I would have, like, if you told me that these were the fractions, I'd say, okay, we got a chance with someone off the pace. And
Well, yeah, I mean, it was just a really good ride by Frank Reyes. Frank Reyes, again, he's riding great. To not engage in the duel and just
Yeah.
stalk and pounce, and
yep, had the best horse
was
and knew
it.
it.
yeah. What happened to our handle there? 63. What happened?
We
Thought
didn't
we'd
talk
have a
about
lot
it enough,
more, but-
apparently.
What's that?
We didn't talk about it enough,
I
apparently.
know.
Was it the 5th race? It was the one that had so much? Yeah.
Yeah, race
Oh,
5 at like 139 and
it was the turf race that had 7 horses. So let's look at this last race. And
Okay.
we still got 14 minutes to the last Saratoga. And that last Saratoga you can do in 30 seconds. You got it. I believe in you.
Is that how much time we have at Saratoga?
14, yeah.
Oh, 14 minutes? It's
14,
too much time.
I
How
know.
much at Churchill? Even more, right?
11.
Yeah. Oh, there's only 4 horses. Churchill's
Yeah.
a pass.
Big
So
pass.
we'll do Saratoga and Hawthorne and call it a day.
Yeah, that sounds right. So Hawthorne, well, you know what? Let's do Saratoga because it's first, and that one literally just ended, so we can.
Okay. We'll have time in the board and everything.
Yeah.
right.
When I see this many colors in this many places, I just throw my hands up and go, okay.
It's
Yes, I
anyone's
believe you.
race.
Yes.
Yeah.
So for those that don't use optics, 1, you should, and 2, up here means that they're going to be in theory, they should be in the lead towards the top of the stretch, and then the big squares means that they should be able to run them down. So when I just look at this like as like a basic look, it's like the 9 wins or the 1 wins, and then you actually have to look at the rest of the race and do other things. But it's
Well,
just a
I mean,
good place to
even
start.
just start from this point, right? Like the 6 is gonna be a heavy favorite. The 6 has no pace advantage,
Yeah.
right? It's
Yep.
not necessarily a big disadvantage, but it's certainly not an advantage.
Right.
So that is one knock as the favorite. Now, in terms of class, they're stepping up in class. They've been running against State Bred Company, and now they're running against Open Company for the first time. I would say that's another knock as the favorite, again, as the favorite. Because
Yeah.
speed figures are on par, but not like,
Towering.
this is the fastest horse in
Yeah.
the field every single time they run this race. Yeah, so I mean, I think we can beat that one. Now, who are those horses from Off the Pace that you were looking at?
The
The 1 and the 9?
one of the 9 are the big squares. The 2 kind of has a square for the more recent races, but the 12 is the other one. 1, 9, 12 are the square 8, 1, 8, 9, 12, I guess, are the squares.
1, 2, 8, 9, 12. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go through all of them. Okay. So 1 looks a little bit weaker in terms of class. It's like closer to a lateral move where they've been
Mhm.
running at Gulfstream Park and just running like C pluses. Would you say?
Yeah. And there's just taking some IRAD money, I would assume.
Yeah.
So
I mean, the race off the layup in January wins this. So
yeah.
so that's possible, but odds right now are 5-2.
Yep.
That's not the
No,
most
thank you.
exciting,
Yeah.
especially when looking at the plot and there's other horses that look similar.
Yeah, like the turf note is the only thing that makes you say like, okay, maybe, but it was a turf race that got rained off, so kind of makes some sense, but then has been back on the turf and
Exactly.
not really doing a whole lot.
Yeah, exactly.
But there's not a whole like the 2 is interesting to me because it's been winning races, but it's
Mhm.
been winning at a lower level, definitely
Much lower level, yeah.
And so, but like, okay, so you're gonna go to Saratoga and take a shot, which you should do probably in this situation, but it's a stab. Like it just doesn't seem
Yeah,
fast enough. Doesn't seem.
Yeah, the 2 seems below. It seems like because they were at Saratoga last year in 35. Well, 1 was off the turf,
Mm-hmm.
and then the other one was a good turf course, but still it was 35,000 claiming.
Yep.
And then they had to drop and then found success more recently going shorter.
Yep.
So I'm not necessarily sure, like, because like a closing 5.5, 6 furlong sprinter, is that a closing mile and a 16th router at a higher level?
Seems like you're asking a lot, and
Seems like you're asking a lot.
and looking at like 10-1, which is an
No.
okay price, but not big enough for what this horse needs to do to.
Yeah, no, this
make
horse
that
should
difference.
be like
30.
40. Yeah, 30, 40 to 1 for sure. All right, what were the other ones? 8, 9.
Yeah, the 8 who's been doing a lot of running on the dirt has some turf races kind of mixed in, but I don't quite understand. Well, maybe look at that, but yeah, it just doesn't seem fast enough. It just seems too slow.
Yeah.
And the turf races it has, like there are like at least a halfway decent one over at Aqueduct where it ran 6th in a stakes race, but speed figure's probably just a bit inflated because it kind of fits in line with everything else it ran, but like it's a stakes race, so they get a little bit faster.
Yeah.
The 9 was the one that was the interesting one in terms of the plot.
Ooh, this is another long shot, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, but they're at least a legitimate long shot in terms of odds.
Right.
So that's
30 to 1.
Interesting. Yeah.
So you have the improve from 2 back, and they somewhat improved next out. Now get an extra half furlong. Slight. a big enough step up, right? So 76 to 82, now getting an 82 to 88. So maybe just over its head because wasn't really close in those easier races. Does have a race at Saratoga, 2024 on a maiden race where it ran 9th and needed a drop. And so
it's like going back through this race. I'm like, okay, I can see why 6 is the favorite because there's some
not
there's some
very
rough
good ones.
horses in this bunch, and the 2 being the second choice, who's like you could get there as well, but like everybody else is like legitimate long shot.
So the 12 was the other closer.
Okay.
10 to 1.
Okay. Interesting.
And
this is very interesting. Yeah.
There is some there, right? Where it was improving as a 2-year-old.
Yeah.
First out as a 3-year-old, better again,
Improved.
ran second. Just a big step up in who they're facing, right? So there's a $55,000 claiming now into a protected optional claimer type.
Yeah, but
like
this is because
ready to
they're
make
not
that
in for a
move.
tag, right?
Right.
They're not in. They're protected, right?
They are, yes.
Yeah. So if that's how they're eligible for this race is
Yep.
by running in that May 3rd event.
Interesting.
So maybe that was.
Yeah, because you got to start for 55 or less, and it ran in a $55,000.
Yeah.
Race
so
there.
that's some intent. You know, you're like, maybe we'll sneak one by, and like if no one claims, then we can, the door is open to start running in some starter conditions. And if somebody does claim,
get 55,000.
That's how it goes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, another horse that is, what are the current live odds? 12 to 1.
Okay.
10, 12. Okay. I mean, that seems
probably
at least with the 12 and like compared to some of the other long shots, at least there's upside for the 12. And they look okay. Whereas the other ones, there's probably not upside. You're just hoping that like they get everything to go right and run back to their best race of all time, and that just happens to be enough.
Yeah.
They must be talking about the 12, right? Because that's why they're on the screen. It's got to be.
No, they're just walking over, so a lot of times they just show them as they walk over.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, looking at the rest of them, like just scrolling through here, and you just see like the 8s ran so many races, and it's like, yeah, they're fine, I guess. But like there are some like really bad stretches at Belmont in 2023, and no real great stretches. I guess 2025 they were okay, but like I don't really have a case of making for this 8 in some way that, especially at this price. Well, no, at the price is fine. It's the horse just needs to run their best
51.
ever.
Yeah, sometimes with these horses, like the 8, who is, these connections don't seem like they have a lot of horses. Norman Follett as the trainer. Is that a name that's familiar to you?
No.
So sometimes with a horse like this, it's not getting the win is as important as it is getting a check.
Yep.
Because if you drop for a tag, somebody's going to claim, and then you don't have a horse. Like literally, they took your one horse that you have.
Yeah.
So you stay protected, and you're like, okay, we're never going to win, but hey, if we run second for $78,000 purse,
right?
That's like winning a claiming race.
Pays for 6 months.
Yeah. So
yeah,
I mean that could be the reason. Like, yeah, maybe everything works out and this is the spot. I mean, they did win at Saratoga last summer. Granted, it was the dirt, 7 furlongs, so things can happen, but
I mean, looking back at the 6, like maybe she just wins because she does, but not at like 4 to 5, 6 to 5.
Yeah, just
even
not
money. Yeah.
just doesn't feel like a great play.
Yeah. I mean, one last out off of the layoff after, 2 years off, comes back, runs 2 races, another year off, comes back and wins the race, and now comes back in 2 weeks. And I don't know, that just the pattern is just so bad that you don't really feel like you really want to have anything to do with that one, especially at that price. Yeah. I mean, the 5 is just, there's no case to be made for the 5 in my mind. Doesn't have a single figure that gets there.
No.
4 has, won a maiden last out, so first time versus winner, maybe figured it out, but okay.
Seems more like a regression candidate off
Right.
that, where they
Way more likely.
six sprints to a route.
the classic angle.
Classic angle, 6 sprints to a route, pops with a big race. They're like, all right,
Go
we
longer.
figured it out.
Yeah.
We just needed to get a lot of conditioning.
3 doesn't. Well, the 3's just not fast enough. Didn't we talk?
Yeah,
about
3's not fast enough.
Yeah. Ended around the dirt. Did the 2. Did the 1. All right, let's move to Hawthorne.
All right, now we're
This just-
talking. All right,
yeah.
15 minutes. How many minutes to that race? So do you want to?
0 minutes.
So should we watch it?
I guess so.
And we still have 15 minutes at Hawthorne,
Yeah.
so we got. And although it is a tough race, I thought.
Yeah.
At Hawthorne.
So they're still at commercial, so I'm gonna leave that off. I'll put up all the Hawthorne
Okay.
stuff, and then when they come back, I'll put it back on.
Click
so
over.
We can, yeah.
So right
Oh.
now the 7 is favored. At Hawthorne, number 7, Jet Flight, who, looking at the plot, I think this where they make plenty of sense in this race.
Yep.
Consistent, has the conditioning this year, is now 3rd off. Looked like a prep, sprinting in April. Had the tactic plus the wide trip last out. No knocks on them in here. Now, with that said, just like looking at that, it's like there's other horses that are just as fast. There's other horses that can also get a trip.
Yep.
Maybe. So I don't know. I think it's worth looking at.
Yeah, and the 2 and the 6 are the 2 that seem to have the figures that kind of fit.
Approach you the gate less than a minute.
The 4 has similar figures.
Mm-hmm.
But
Even
the 2 and
the 3. Even the 3 going back to last year.
Yeah.
And is now 2nd off and has a B at this level.
Yeah.
Similar level last out.
Yeah, that 3 is the one that probably makes the most sense, and at least based on just figure alone. I didn't look deeper than that at the moment, but like the 6 and the 2 coming off of those layoffs, which are about a year or since Hawthorne closed in October, we've seen enough of those horses today that I'm like, well, they win enough, but also at a shorter price, which I guess the 2 and the 6 are both 2nd, 3rd choices, 3rd, 4th choices type of. Maybe they're ones to play against.
Yeah.
But the 7 does seem, I don't know if it towers over this field, but certainly seems like the best of this group, and has 3rd off the layoff, all the things that you kind of want to see in a horse like that. Probably gets the trip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you can look at like 3-7.
Yeah.
I think 3-7 is where I kind of started.
Yeah. With a little 1, little.
Well, the 1 I just, it was kind of more kind of underneath.
Oh yeah.
Like 6 and 2 are fine.
5 on a stretch out.
5 on the stretch out was like the horse I wanted to maybe get a little thrown in the mix.
Yeah, a little crazy with.
Yeah. but we'll take a look once we see what happens in this race.
The 12 at the back is always what you want to see, though maybe it is in this
Yeah.
race.
Is there a saving ground?
Yeah. I mean, they aren't going slow, at least. Not going fast, but not
Yeah.
really slow.
Yeah, it's like, could be worse. Could
Yeah.
be worse. Yeah.
I didn't play anything, so I'm okay with whatever happens. But it's
Yeah,
fun to
no,
be right.
I'm just watching, but from
Being right is
since we
always fun.
go all the way through, and you're like,
Yeah.
what does happen? What does happen in this race? I'm interested. Well, the 6 is going to have to be much the best because they've been wide throughout.
Yeah.
The 1 was kind of their main threat, and they've been getting like a much better trip. 12 has got run though. 12 has got run. Not enough of it though. God, the 1 was terrible. Kind of what we thought. Just like, look at that 2.
Yeah. Wow.
Well, so who ended up winning the 4?
4, yeah.
Oh, 6 sprints to a route. They
6
figured
sprints
it
to a
out
route.
after all
Figured
this
it out.
time.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
We knew the angle. We called it.
Yeah. All right.
Weird.
Hawthorne.
Let's figure something out at Hawthorne. Important stuff to be figured out here. Yeah. I think I'm with you. I think the 7-3 is the one that makes the most sense for the way this thing is setting up.
Can we try to sneak that 5 in, or is that too much to ask?
We can try.
Let's try. Let's take a look. Am I crazy?
Always, but that's okay. That's why I
right?
like it
Because
so
I
much.
mean, the 5 had spent most of their career routing, and the route numbers are not as fast as some of the others, but at least they're stronger, right? And then they came back this year, and they've only sprinted, and kind of the best number was off the layoff with a higher race par, where they had to close at 5.5 furlongs on April 26th. And then the May 17th race, they broke slow. It was a no push. The note says high winds, high heat. So it was like a weird weather that day. So maybe that counts for the speed figure, but getting back to like a better race.
Yeah.
Maybe. Like, let's run 2nd or 3rd.
I was going to filter this real quick and just show a route race, basically.
Yeah.
To see if there's any. My computer's decided to just stop working now. I broke it with making it work some.
You broke it? Oh, no.
Yeah. It's all right. I have 8,000 tabs open, so it's been doing goofy stuff. And so when I do extra goofy stuff, it, really has to work on it. But yeah, I mean, like you were saying, this distance, you see the dark green speed figures where they do seem much better than they are.
Well, that's the 6, not the 5.
Oops.
The 6 is definitely like a player. It's just a matter of are they fit off the layoff and are they going to get a trip? Because I think if the 6 does run
back to any of those races,
run their better races, then they want to be on or near the lead, which would create even more pace to the race than what looks at the plot.
So the 5, who I was trying to show, you're not completely crazy. it is.
It's more of an underneath horse,
Yeah.
isn't it? Yeah. Yeah.
But it's. I mean, a couple years ago he kind of fits, and now it just feels like getting the drop. I mean, you're getting back to this sort of level where maybe that is enough. But yeah,
Mhm.
it seems like a bit of a stretch to me. But half the things you say are stretches, and half the time you're right. So I'm not gonna like on a
It
horse.
just
It's
feels
gonna
like
be
this.
yeah,
Yeah. I mean, there's other. This race comes up. This race kind of comes up tough in the level, to be honest, especially
yeah,
with the 2 and the 6 in this race that can both show early speed, but coming off layoffs.
right.
And when the
Yeah.
2 and the 6 have run their faster races, it hasn't been off layoffs. It's like on, less than 30
Second, third,
days.
yeah,
So it makes it tough. And then you have the 7 and 3 who have established current form. It's the same barn. Once again, they could kind of run 1-2 in here,
yeah,
or at least kind of be in the mix. I think both are kind of valid. But then like the 5, the 5 to me just seems like this is the time that they should run the best race that they have in them. It's just that race still might not be as good.
yeah,
Might not be
right.
might be a touch below. Yeah.
Yeah, the 6 certainly does feel like. I mean, off the layoff last year in April ran second, but against tougher.
Mhm.
Maybe that. I mean, getting 6-1 on the. Well, maybe ends up
7-1
closer to 4.
now.
Yeah. So maybe
Is
the
that
6
too
is.
good to be true?
I was gonna. Maybe the board's telling us the truth. Like maybe it needs that second off.
Yeah.
That.
Well, that was also kind of what okay, so if we go back to that race, right, in April 6th, where they finished second, but they had a
Yep.
B, right? That's the race you were keying
Yep.
off of? It's like a
This was.
solid race, but it's an easy lead with a very slow early and very slow late. And
Mm,
I think if they try to get that trip, I just don't think they're going to get that trip in here
right.
because the 2 is also in this race. So yeah,
Yeah.
while that
Yeah.
race was good off the layoff, it's just like
Not the same race.
they're not going to do that type of race here.
Yeah.
Maybe they sit off. Maybe they try to like I don't know. Maybe they try to track and not go to the lead, and maybe that's the key.
Yeah. Oh, that race, that April 3rd race does. I mean, had a very easy lead. Well, not very easy, but had an easy lead, easy enough that it's a note, and does get run down by slightly better than this. Like what that was a starter race. This is a claiming race, so this is a little bit easier of a race.
Yeah.
But also, if it's they've been in for tags before, so I guess it doesn't make sense to come back protected like they did last year. But certainly feels like, yeah, not enough on the board. I guess I'm gonna look at the pick 3 real quick to see where he actually ends up in the betting wise, but kind of feels like probably being a little too cute trying to get that one. Yeah, I think it's a 7. That's what I think. I think you're
And
right.
the 7 is now the second choice. The 4 is being favored. And the 4 is solid too, but the 4 is another one that could show early speed, right? Makes a
Mhm.
good appearance out there, actually.
The 6 is actually the second choice in the pick 4,
So he's gonna come down.
but 4th in everything else in the pick 3
Yeah.
and the pick 5. So just somebody has it in the pick 4 for more money because it's
Yeah.
really betting the pick 4. Interesting. Yeah, I think it's I mean, for me, I think it's a 7. I think I like your case more for the 3 than for the 2 or for the 5.
Yeah,
But I don't know.
the 5 is more kind of, is legitimately the longest shot in the board.
Yeah,
Certainly to win, but that doesn't mean they can't finish third.
second or third. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the 7-3 exact is 17-1. So that kind of feels like a good
That
place
seems
to get.
like worth a poke, yeah.
Yeah. I don't quite understand the 4, and maybe it's just the class thing again, but like didn't run very well on the turf at Turf Paradise, and now like didn't run very good at Fawner. Why is it like so bet here?
Yeah, the numbers to me, I think it was more. It was more just like putting all the pieces together in terms of trip, because I think they're going to want to be forward, and they have the 2 on their inside. Maybe some of those others that push the pace as well. Like, yeah, the races last year, even on the main track at Fairmont, like they fit. It's kind of similar conditions, you know.
Yeah.
Second off, class drop.
Maybe.
But again, it's just like it's trip. And I think if they do try to sit off and then let the 2 go, then maybe the 2 has a scenario where they wire the field, right? If the 4 tries to sit back and the 6 tries to sit back.
Yeah. There is that
Then maybe
world
maybe that helps the 7, you know, I don't know. Then maybe the 7 has to be wide because he's outside those other guys. But yeah, I wasn't super crazy about the 4 at a short number.
Right. I don't even know if I like the 4 at a longer number. Like,
okay, fair. Yeah.
Like there's just not enough there that makes me think that like this one, you know, maybe there's some races farther back that kind of make more sense to me, but like not winning at Turf Paradise on the turf is like a 5-2 favorite. Just like, all right, then you come here, like come to Hawthorne on the turf. I get it's different.
That was a best of the speed, like very fast though. That was a good race.
But
it was a decent race.
But if it needs like, kind of feels like it needs the lead, but when it gets the lead, it doesn't hold the lead. Like, I don't know, just it hasn't won enough races for me to think like, why does it need to win this race? Right, it ran 17 times and has 3 wins. I'm better than some of these, but not. I guess there aren't a whole lot of winners in this race, also. So maybe there's just that too.
Yeah, I mean it is conditional. Not won a race, not won a race this year. So there is actually kind of horses. Well,
yeah, a lot of them haven't raced this year though too.
Yeah.
What was
the 2 didn't win in 2025.
Yeah. The
4 didn't win. Oh no, the 4 did win once in 2025, but it was in February.
Is the 1 just not fast enough? Am I?
Yeah, I was looking at that. I feel like the 1 is kind of like the 5 in some ways, but like a much better looking version on paper because of the recent outcomes. But when you kind of boil it down, like they kind of run the same, no?
Yeah.
Less consistently.
But like I don't know, when I look at it just like real quick at the grid, like it has a bunch of like the last 5-6 figures, if all like the last 12 figures have all just been like fast enough and it's hitting the board. It certainly feels like the 1 is one that could be used underneath in a way that, you know.
Yeah, 13-1. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, for sure. And I'm sure that they're bet accordingly, right? And the exactas, like
I'm looking right now.
Like the 5 is still a long shot even in the exactas.
Yeah, 7-1's 22-1. 7-6 is 21. 7-3 is 18. So that money's coming for that 7 in the exacta pool for sure.
Yeah.
Which I guess I should have known better, but I got a little excited there for a minute, thinking I was going to.
It's all right to get excited. It's Hawthorne.
All right. So excited about that.
They're off. Towards the inside, Connie's Coup trying for the lead. Del Rayo came away well here, stronger together, moving up 3rd. Jet Flight is 4th. 5th along the inside, Electric Charge. Rocket Hotshot is next, the early trailer.
Yeah, it was definitely going to be interesting, like, the tactics. And since, like, the 4 and the 6 used for position and then rated off, like.
And 2nd, Del Rayo towards the inside now. 3rd, Jet Flight. Out there, 4th, stronger together. Then it's a 2-length gap. Electric Charge 5th. Another 7 lengths back to the.
I don't like the 2-1, and
they are Ice Axe.
Maybe now it's okay, but
Less than 5 furlongs to go in the Thursday
Pretty
nightcap.
easy
Coneysco in
lead.
control. Leads a little more than 2. Jet Flight toward the rail. Del Rey alongside him. Stronger together, tracking.
Damn, they picked it up for that second quarter.
Yeah.
2 more back to Electric Charge. 4 more back to the trailing pair. Rocket
Two's
Hot
not slowing
Shot and
down.
Race X.
No.
Let's change in position.
This was kind of the scenario for the 2, right? Is that like
Mhm.
those other horses would just kind of rate back.
Del Rey.
But he said, I mean, and that's how you should be on a front runner too. It's like go to the
Okay,
lead,
yeah.
like run your race. Don't try to slow it down and keep those guys close by. Like
off the turn, 5 on
make
top.
them play chase at this point.
And then towards the inside, Jet Flight.
3's running on, but it's going to be too much. Too
Finding a good stride to within 7 of the leader.
much to do. There's the one picking up pieces, doing his thing.
Coneysco has the lead.
Wow.
Del Rayo,
Yeah.
followed by Electric Charge and Jet Flight, all chasing Coneysco. Coneysco makes every call a winning one and won by 6.5 in the end.
Interesting.
Del Rayo was second. Jet Flight came back to third. Electric Charge fourth.
That was a good race off of the layoff, right? I mean, like that last race it ran, it went the same distance
Mhm.
against the same company, right? 5K claimers, and got caught.
Higher race par, yeah.
But like a 5K claimer, so like, you know, yes, the race is different,
Conditions matter, yes,
Yeah,
okay.
but like to just keep going, I got caught by a head in that race, and then to come back and just do it off of a 6 months layoff, 8 month
Yeah.
layoff, just feels like
Yeah,
all right.
yeah, but again, it's different, right? Like having to be best of the speed, having to be pressed is taking pace pressure,
Right.
and in here they're able to get lone.
You just
Like-
just sat there all by itself, and
To get a lone lead is like no stress.
yep, which it did this race here June last year, where it got a lone lead. And
Yep.
just
Yeah,
went.
the two wins prior were when they were able to get a lone
Yep.
lead, and that's what happened.
Yep.
So kind of talked about that scenario a little bit, that it was like, yeah, if the 4 and 6 do try to get cute and sit back and they let the 2 go, like that could be the game.
Yeah. So that was Hawthorne. It's the best.
That was Hawthorne.
So you have to go to work on Sunday, huh? They're gonna have cameramen for you.
Yeah, I'm
person
doing
for
Jim did all the races today, so on Sunday I'm doing all the races all by
Ooh,
myself.
Fun. Do you get to be upstairs, or are you gonna get?
No,
to
I'm
be
going to
in
be
the paddock?
in I want to be in the paddock. I
Yeah.
want to be back on my spot. As I said, I like being on track. I like seeing
Yeah.
everybody and talking to everybody. I think that's I don't
Half
know.
the fun of being there.
Yeah, and like I don't know, people like they'll interact with me, and like that's I think maybe an asset to this game, right? Like how many public handicappers do you see on TV that are like accessible, like on the apron?
Yeah,
Are there any?
I'm sure, but not many that I know of.
I feel like, there's always like, you have to be somewhere, right? And like in a space, and then like this few moments. And so I don't
Yeah.
know, the fact that like I'm there, people can ask me questions and talk is, I don't know. I think it's kind of cool.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So we will probably be back Monday for something. Probably go over the Belmont, go over
Oh yeah.
trip notes for that, and all the other fun stuff that's going to happen this weekend, and then we'll see what we do from there.
Yeah.
So,
I wrote up there's a bunch of races I wrote up for tomorrow on the
Ooh.
Hawthorne site. So
I put that in the chat earlier, but I will do it again here. It wasn't
Cool.
it wasn't just Churchill, or not just Belmont, wasn't it? Like
yeah, it was
Churchill and Santa Anita and Saratoga. So
yeah. And
all
it
the
wasn't
places.
it's not always like I'm trying to do a lot. It's just like I just go through the card. I'm like, oh, here's something. I better write about it.
yeah,
Oh, next race. Oh, there's something. Better write about it. So.
and some of them aren't like, you don't have a strong opinion on a winner. It's more of a dislike of this horse, or a strong like of that horse, or
On tomorrow, I feel like there's a lot of horses that I like are playable.
oh, even better.
Yeah.
I haven't read it yet. I just
Yeah,
in general,
it was like it was a surprising amount. And then when I got to Saturday, I was like, I don't like anything the whole day.
really.
No, there was a couple. I think there's like a couple that I looked
Yeah.
at, but for the most part, I don't know. Like, it's fine. Try to make
All right.
money tomorrow
Yeah.
and kick back on Saturday. Then
back to work on Sunday.
Back to Sunday card at Hawthorne is good. Is
All
really
right.
good.
Now
Yeah.
we're talking.
Yeah. So
Hopefully we make a bunch of money tomorrow.
yeah.
and
So I'll rest up. I'll rest up on Saturday and then full steam ahead on Sunday.
Perfect.
All
All right,
right. Awesome.
everybody. That was fun.
Thank you.
Yep. See everybody later.